Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a second stream. For those of you who are watching this after the fact and are curious as to why we are here, first off, make sure you help us get onto the YouTube algorithm to spread the word about these storms. We want to try and spread awareness about what these storms could potentially be doing. And I, of course, invite everyone in chat to do the same by hitting that thumbs up button down below and maybe even subscribing if you haven't subscribed. We just streamed for 11 and a half hours, covering numerous tornadoes, some of which were strong, some of which were intense. We've had a total of 2 tornado emergencies, and as of right now, as I am currently talking, which is 3:36 a.m. Eastern, 2:36 a.m. Central, we also have a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning that has been issued for areas near Enville, Sardis, Saltillo, and areas near Scotts Hill. If you know anyone that lives over here in these areas in Tennessee, they need to get in their safe space. Lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet, with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as possible. So once again, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning has been issued here. We'll read this verbatim from the National Weather Service. At 2:33 a.m. Central Daylight Time, a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Morris Chapel, or 11 miles southeast of Henderson, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now, and we just got interrupted. Give it a sec.
Tornado warning for Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, southeastern Cheatham County in Middle Tennessee.
So if you know anyone that lives in those counties, please be sure to let them know that they need to get in their safe space immediately. We'll continue with the wording. It's once again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. Once again, a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning has been issued for Henderson, McNairy, Hardin, Chester, and Decatur counties. That'll be in effect until 3:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So if you are in any of those areas that I just mentioned, you need to get into your safe space if you haven't already. Once again, lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as possible. We also have another tornado warning back behind this. This is near Middleton. This is actually where we had a tornado hit almost directly here in Middleton. We've had a couple of storms that have moved on by. The one that has actually caused a tornado warning right now for the city of Nashville is actually the one that hit Middleton. Middleton was actually cored, and now we have a tornado warning here for Nashville, Tennessee. All right. So I'm going to update this here. Tornado warning, Nashville, Tennessee. And unfortunately, there are no cameras right now here out in front of this particular storm, unless if we actually go into where we can actually go and see the Tennessee dot. And there actually is some cameras that are right there on I-65. So we'll have to watch out and see where this thing could potentially make its pass into Nashville. We also do have cameras in Nashville too. Yeah, we'll just have to see how close this thing gets. But still, a lot of areas that you guys definitely need to watch out for. New tornado warning once again for Nashville, Tennessee. If you are in these areas, get into your safe space. Lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows. You can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as possible. If you just tuned in here to the stream, we have numerous tornado warnings. We've had that and a lot more here today across the board. It would be helpful if you guys would help us spread this information with people who could potentially need it. And it would be very helpful if you would allow us to be able to get onto the YouTube algorithm. You would help us promote our live stream onto the platform of YouTube so that we can get it out to people who could potentially need it as well. Best way you can do that is by hitting the thumbs up button down below. You press that, and then you leave that alone for the rest of the stream. You can undo it at the end of the stream. You can unsubscribe at the end of the stream. I don't care. I'm just trying to make sure I get this out to as many people as possible. That would definitely help us out.
Tornado warning for East Central Hardeman County in West Tennessee, McNairy County in West Tennessee.
That is a new tornado warning, an extension to the tornado warning behind the PDS. So if you know anyone that lives over, once again, this is areas that are near Selmer now. Selmer, another area that got absolutely cored by a tornado here. If you know anyone that lives in Selmer or in Bethel Springs, actually, this thing could get very close to Selmer. I won't lie, chat. This is actually this is not a good signal here. There's a very good chance that this, if it does produce a tornado, could go right over where the old tornado went over here in Selmer. I would not be surprised if we actually had a tornado impacted the same exact area that a tornado impacted about 45 minutes ago, chat. Is that what it was? Something like that. This is absolutely, someone said in chat here, like trains on a track. Absolutely. This is something that happened in the high risk that we had on the 15th of March. Happened in the southern portions of Mississippi. So this is a lot. This is absolutely a lot, but this is something that we're going to continue to want to cover as much as we possibly can. And as I said, if you know anyone who lives here in Selmer, Tennessee, they need to get in their safe space immediately. But let's go back over here to Nashville. We do have our tornado warning over here. We actually do have a camera over here from Radar Omega from Nashville. We'll keep that camera up just so we can just say we have it. That is an interesting report here that we just got 50 minutes ago. 50 minutes ago here. This is north of Forest Hills. Okay? At 6:50 UTC. So that's about an hour ago. Okay? And keep in mind, that's about 1:50-ish. 1:50-ish in the morning. We have a report of an injury because a person got struck by lightning in Green Hills. Now, that is not something that you typically hear very often. But that is very much so the risk for severe weather here today as well, let alone with any thunderstorm. There is typically a saying that goes around in the weather community. And I sometimes say it every now and then. I don't say it enough, but I definitely should. And it says, when thunder roars, go indoors. And that is absolutely the case here. Especially at 1:50 in the morning. There is no reason for you to be outside during this. There's no reason for you to be up, period. This is where you need to be able to stay in a sturdy structure, stay away from windows. Do not entertain the thought or the idea of even wanting to be outdoors and wanting to be next to this storm. All right, this is what you guys need to take seriously. Strong thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes, capable of dumping out large hail, strong damaging winds, all sorts of stuff like that. Please, please, please take this seriously. This is not a tornado on the ground as of right now. I don't see anything that says it's on the ground as of this time. We do have a bit of rotation, but it is a little bit wonky here. So we have to go into the upper levels to kind of show you guys what the rotation looks like. Greens and blues are pixels that are moving towards the radar. Reds and grays are moving away. So this general broad area is where the rotation is at. That is what we're going to want to watch out for as this continues to move on through towards Forest Hills, Brentwood, Belle Meade, Oak Hill, Berry Hill, and then the southern and the eastern sides of Nashville. If you are over in Franklin, you give yourselves another 5 minutes and you'll be done. Easy as that, simple as that. If you're over in Fairview, this storm has already passed you guys, believe it or not. You guys are clear from this particular tornadic thunderstorm, but there are more storms on the way, so continue to be weather aware if need be. There is also areas over here near Kingston Springs and Pegram. This storm as well to the south of you, it's not going to impact you guys. You guys are going to be fine. This is just mainly going to be areas north of Franklin, near Brentwood, near Forest Hills, near Berry Hill, the south side of Nashville on I-440, and then areas that are on the east side of Nashville, particularly over near the international airport. The international airport is more than likely in the crosshairs of this storm, so please continue to take this very seriously as this continues to move on through. We'll go back to down to this storm here that is near Middleton, Tennessee, and it is heading towards Selmer. And the interesting thing about both of these towns is they were actually hit by tornadoes by two separate storms. This is a third storm that is moving through the area. Middleton got hit by the first storm, and Selmer got hit by the second storm that both produced tornadoes and both ran right over both of these areas. The hope right now is that though we do have a tornado warning, the hope is that a tornado does not form and it does not hit over some of the areas that have already been impacted, especially since there's been reports of significant damage in both of these areas. So please be sure that you guys are watching out for this very, very closely as this continues to move on through. Can you tell me about Jackson, Kentucky? I can here, but very briefly. As I said, we do have some significant tornadoes that are currently ongoing, but I will go over Jackson, Kentucky as of this time. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings that are anywhere near it. The only closest one is this one up here over in north of Mount Sterling, north of Owingsville, heading into Fleming County. Really, the only thing that I would watch out for is the potential for some spin-ups that could be possible within this storm. Even then, that could probably head to the north of you. So you guys might not actually start to see some pretty sustained thunderstorms until maybe about at half an hour to maybe even an hour from now. So I would watch out for these storms. They're not looking too significant at this time, though, so you guys should be fine for just right this moment. I'll be continuing to be live here for the next few hours if that does change. So if you have any questions, feel free to come back. Unless if you want to continue to just watch the stream. Then I have no issues with that either.
Tornado warning for eastern Belmont County in east central Ohio, northwestern Greene County in southwestern Pennsylvania, southwestern Washington County in southwestern Pennsylvania, Marshall County in northern West Virginia, Ohio County in northern West Virginia. Tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County in northwestern Mississippi, northern Tippah County in northeastern Mississippi, Benton County in northeastern Mississippi, northwestern Alcorn County in northeastern Mississippi, southeastern Hardeman County in West Tennessee.
Well, we do have a tornado warning here for Wheeling. This is northernmost big city in West Virginia. I've been here to Wheeling multiple times. If you know anyone that lives here along I-70 from St. Clairsville to Wheeling, all the way over to Valley Grove, areas near Moundsville, the potential for a tornado is definitely here. There's definitely some rotation, specifically down here north and east of Somerton, and maybe up here near the areas south of St. Clairsville. So if you guys know anyone that lives really just over here in the northern panhandle of West Virginia, you guys should let them know that there is this stuff that could be happening and that they need to stay safe. So please watch out if you haven't already. We also had our new tornado warning that is in northern portions of Mississippi. I did say that this storm, the one that currently is heading into Middleton, is the end of it, the be-all, end-all. Well, it's not. apparently. Even though I do believe that this storm here near Hudsonville and Ashland doesn't really look to be super significant at this time. It's definitely making some noise. It's definitely starting to rotate a little bit more. And it does have an upper level mesocyclone. So if this thing can get out in front of this outflow boundary, all right, this right here is the only thing that is stopping this storm from being able to put down a tornado. If this can get out of this line, out in front of this line, which is basically a barrier that prevents moisture from actually getting through and into thunderstorms, then this storm will more than likely, be able to produce a tornado. But if it doesn't, chat, we probably could be talking about a little bit more of a elevated storm with strong damaging winds. Man, I don't like the look of this storm heading into Selmer, Tennessee right now. This definitely does look like a storm that could be trying to be tornadic. If you live in Selmer, Tennessee, you really should be in your safe space. If you don't have any sort of sturdy structure that you can rely upon anymore, I recommend heading south on US Highway 45. Head south, get out of the way of the storm for right now, and then reassess your situation a little bit later, and maybe even head back into town. But for right now, don't sit in Selmer. Don't sit in a vulnerable position. If you have a sturdy structure still in Selmer, or if you're not impacted in any sort of way, and you have a way to be safe. Go do it. If you have a local, storm structure or storm shelter, do that as well. But you guys just got hit by a tornado earlier on, and I'm hoping that you guys are able to still find ways to be able to be safe. Now is the time. Please be safe, Selmer. Let's go back to our storm in Nashville. Still looking like a rather impressive storm. And looking aloft, I mean, this thing is absolutely still rotating. It's still spinning like a top. Green's moving towards the radar, red's moving away. Right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation is. Now, this thing still absolutely is spinning and spinning and spinning. So we need to watch out for this very, very closely as we get closer and closer towards Interstate 65 here. It looks like here, chat, that we might be able to use some of the traffic cameras here from Tennessee. I'm going to see if we can. I'm not sure if this is looking south or north. A lot of these cameras are actually looking down towards the ground, and that is very inconvenient for trying to spot stuff in the sky. So our plans might be partially foiled. That looks better. You know what, chat? I will take that. I will take that camera. That is currently situated all the way up over here at the intersection of I-40, I-24, and I-440. What's up, Joker Storm? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. This is definitely a well-defined supercell. I mean, we're talking about rain wrapping around into a hook-like fashion. Right on the leading edge of the hook is where we're going to want to watch out for the potential of a tornado. That would be more near the Forest Hills and the Brentwood area as to where this thing could be heading towards. But right now, it is about to get near the US Highway 431 general vicinity. It is going to go north of Franklin. All right. Just wanted to look at that real quickly. It's going to go north of Franklin, so Franklin's okay. Leiper's Fork is fine. Fairview is fine. Kingston Springs is fine. You guys are going to see some more thunderstorms later on tonight into tomorrow. Some of which could maybe potentially be tornadic again. But for right now, things are fine. That's a new tornado warning.
Tornado warning for
Extension.
Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, southwestern Sumner County in Middle Tennessee, northeastern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Wilson County in Middle Tennessee.
Yep, so that's a new tornado warning here. And stuff is starting to become pretty active with our camera here, chat. Rick, with the 20, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says, can you give me a mini forecast for Huntington, West Virginia, please? Absolutely, I sure can. Let me pull this up here real quickly as we go to Charleston's radar. So, right now, there's a couple of thunderstorms that are over here. That are over in Powell and Estill counties near Slade and Campton. That's north and west of Jackson, Kentucky, where there's a severe thunderstorm warning. In about 45 minutes to an hour, these storms will start to move off close to your area. Now, there is a 50-50 chance that this will still be severe by the time it gets to you. I'm actually kind of banking on that to happen, and that will usually come with strong damaging winds and maybe even some spotty hail. But what we've also noticed here this evening is that within this line up and down, there has been a couple of tornado warnings that have been issued. I can play the loop for you, and you can be able to see all these red boxes that have popped up and down across the board to kind of prove my point there that tornado warnings have been issued according to the National Weather Service in the past with this line. So do not be surprised if there is a spin up or two that could potentially be triggering the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning near your area. And of course, I'll still be live by the time we will be over there. So if you have any questions or if I find anything that's interesting, I'll let you guys know. But that's basically the general gist of what that is going to be happening here in Huntington. And then over the next couple of days, you guys could potentially still be seeing some more rain and maybe some severe weather. So watch out for the potential flash flooding risk too. That's your mini forecast. Let's go back over into Nashville. Once again, tornado warning over here. This now includes Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, Rural Hill, Gladeville, Belinda City, Lebanon, as well as areas near Lakewood. If you are in these areas, you need to get into your safe space. This is impacting the southern portions of Nashville. The potential for a tornado is possible with this storm, especially since this storm has had a history of producing it. So please be sure to watch out if you haven't already. Should the tornado warning in Mississippi be the last and the storms behind it just be storms? Well, it should hypothetically be it, but it's not. There's been more storms that have been forming back behind it. My hope right now is that with that storm in Mississippi that's currently tornado warned, that this actually isn't even the last storm, and that this one up here near Selmer is, or the one that's near Middleton. The reason being is because this storm in Selmer is actually producing this wall out in front that's going to try and prevent moisture from actually getting into the supercell and try to be able to help intensify it. So if that continues to show up, if that continues to be present in that atmosphere or in that portion of really just this event, that could prevent the storm here in Ashland from actually doing anything relevant. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here so far. So that's what I'm picking up with this. Let's take a look at our live view here. We have a live traffic camera over here at the intersection of I-40 and I-24 on the eastern side of Nashville. And it might actually be cool of us to try and figure out if we can find another camera that's near the international airport, or maybe over here along Interstate 24, maybe something that could be better. The only thing about traffic cameras is that they look down. That is definitely the inconvenient part about traffic cameras. But if you can find the right one, you are pretty much able to see what's going on in general. That's a Traffic camera stream not available. It might be best for us to just use this or use one of these feeds here, especially as we get close. It also could be nice if we just use this feed that's over in Brentwood and we just see if a tornado crosses the interstate. That's also very much so a possibility. I think that's what we're going to do here, chat. We're going to see if a tornado does cross over the interstate. I kind of doubt it, to be honest with you. Stuff isn't really materialized in the lower levels, at least not well enough. But there is some pretty strong rotation that's going to try and develop here, at least north of Brentwood. And actually, I might adjust my camera according to that, which would take it in this gap right here in Harding Place. So we're gonna just do this camera. We're gonna keep that up. And though there is a lot of heavy rain right now at this time, that is going to eventually clear, and we're going to start to see a little bit of calmness and then a lot of intensity here pretty soon. So if you're just tuning in here right now, we do have a tornado warning here for the city of Nashville. This is actually going to be heading just to the south of downtown Nashville into areas near the International Airport and areas east of the International Airport. Brentwood is in the immediate path of this tornadic thunderstorm here. You can see our supercell, a very well-defined supercell at that, wrapping around in a hook-like fashion. On the leading edge of the hook, right about there, and now it just got updated. Storm is now definitely trying to pick up over here. So it has shifted off to the east just a little bit more. There is your hook. That is where your tornadic area could potentially be. And that is some potential surface, some rotation there at the surface. We could be looking at a tornado here very soon, chat. If you are near Brentwood, or if you are near the International Airport, or if you are over here near the Brookview Estates, Wrench, Castlegate Estates, there is the potential for a tornado right in this area. That is the new scan. That is not a debris signature, fortunately. We're going to get a new velocity signature here in a second, but this does look like the rotation is starting to become a little bit more intense. That is not exactly the greatest thing in the world. Unwarned storm behind the Nashville cell. You're absolutely right. This actually does look like we could have a tornadic thunderstorm here near Wrigley. Yeah, don't be surprised if there is another tornado warning here that can come for the same areas here in southern Nashville. How about each side of Nash? Each side of Nash could definitely see some severe weather here. This tornado warning in itself is actually going to be heading in the general vicinity of the east side of Nash. This is actually going to be heading more towards the International Airport and actually a little bit to the east of the International Airport. So we'll be talking about areas like Gladeville. That is at least at the far eastern portion of where the potential risks could be as to where the storm could be at. Belinda City is definitely in the path of this. If you're in Belinda City, if you are in Mount Juliet, if you're in Rural Hill, it is a very good idea for you to be able to get into your safe space immediately. All right. Once again, you want to get into the lowest, innermost part of your building, especially if it's a sturdy structure. And you want to try and put as many walls between yourself and the outdoors as possible. The main reason being is because if a tornado just so happens to form and it just so happens to do damage, any sort of debris or damage that it can do, it has to go through multiple walls in order for it to actually reach to you. It's all about being safe in this instance. We also want to stress ahead of time that if this thing does end up going onto the ground, and you can even go as far as prepare ahead of time if you want to, it is not a bad idea to go ahead and get shoes on, specifically hard-soled shoes. Or if you have any helmets or any pots and pans, you can put them on your head, because the leading cause of injuries in a lot of these severe storms, especially tornadoes, is head injuries. Anything that happens where, debris falls from the roof and it actually collapses upon your system, upon your area, upon your building, first place that it will more than likely hit is your head. You want to be able to be safe from that. You want to try and be able to not be impacted, in any sort of substantial way. So, once again, please, if you're in these areas, take these very seriously, as the potential for some severe weather is possible in your area. And of course, a tornado warning means that a potential for a tornado is possible here too. Rural Hill, Belinda City, Mount Juliet, you guys are in the direct path of the storm here right now. All right, there's just no sugarcoating it here. You can clearly see on the reflectivity the classic, signature. The classic signature here that we see on radar. Rain wrapping all the way around into a hook-like fashion, right on the leading edge, right in there. The leading edge of that hook is where we would typically see some rotation that starts to stretch down to the ground. If we actually go back in time and we go up higher into the sky where the winds are actually a little bit stronger, you can actually match that. The leading edge of the hook contrasts to where the rotation actually is, with greens moving towards the radar, reds moving away. Right in this concentrated area, right within here, is where the tornadic rotation would be. And so we definitely have something here that tells us that there is definitely some form of, something. It's just the hope right now is that this thing doesn't end up actually producing, and, we don't have to deal with any sort of, tornadic activity. But we're still going to watch out for this regardless. We're still going to want to make sure that people are safe, because on the off chance that this thing does produce a tornado, we want to make sure that we provide as much information as we possibly can. We also have other tornado warnings here across the state that we're going to want to talk about here in a bit. But as I said, this storm right here that is just to the south and east of downtown Nashville, it is now due south of the international airport and will now be heading towards the Mount Juliet, the Belinda City, and the Rural Hill area. That is what I'm going to be watching very, very closely. So please watch out if you haven't already. 3 sirens, but it's been heavy rain with thunder and lightning, but no strong wind. Yeah, so a lot of the strong wind will more than likely be on the southern side of this big mass. So even if we don't have a tornado here, it will more than likely be on this southern side. So let's say if you were over in, say, Lakewood or Green Hill, even for that matter, although Green Hill might see the outskirts of this, or even if you were over in downtown Nashville, you wouldn't have been able to see the significant damaging winds or large hail unless if you were a lot further south in and closer towards where the storm and where the potential tornado could actually be. So it's all about where your proximity is into where the main action, the main activity is located. But for right now, things seem to be tame with the exception of the potential of some large hail, maybe in upwards of quarters. Actually, is almost an upwards of the size of ping pong balls. So hopefully things aren't being too impactful with this storm as it moves about. And as I said, there's a second storm that's back behind this over near Fairview that I'm watching that could potentially head off into the Nashville area as well. Might potentially even head south of Nashville. But we'll see what this storm does over the next few minutes. And we'll stick with this storm here that's going to be heading just to the east of Nashville. If you're in downtown Nashville, you're good. All right, the storm is now past you. You're good. Brentwood, Oak Hill, Berry Hill, Belmead, Forest Hills, you're good. All right. There is still this storm that's going to be behind us. So this one over here in Fairview still has some rotation with it. There is still some tornadic rotation. So we might see another storm. All right. We might see another storm that pops up here very shortly that could try and be tornadic. But I want you guys to be aware, weather aware, as this thing moves on through. At minimum, this is going to produce some quarter-sized tail and maybe even 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So please watch out if you haven't already, as this is definitely going to move through an area that has already had severe weather. There's been probably a lot of rain here too across this area as well, which is the reason why all these green polygons here have actually been issued by the National Weather Service. This is all flash flood warnings. And so there is quite a lot of activity here, even in general, beyond just the regular tornado warnings that we have. Brooke, with the Tornado Tracker, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. You're actually really helping us out here, so thank you guys so much with that for the member. People are asking about Franklin, Tennessee. Franklin, Tennessee is currently out of the tornado warning. It was in the tornado warning earlier. Now it is not. The storm went to the north of it. It is now just these storms that are heading off basically to the north and west of you. There's also another storm that is down near Parsons and Decaturville that would actually eventually head towards Hohenwald, and that is a new tornado warning, so let's listen in.
Tornado warning for northern Hardin County in West Tennessee, southern Decatur County in West Tennessee.
So that is an extension more than likely for the cell that's in Selmer, and that's not at all that surprising, to be honest with you. Especially with that rotation there, chat. This is definitely some stronger amounts of rotation. You can definitely see here, blues moving towards the radar, reds moving away. Right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation would be. That is north and east, or actually more east of Bethel Springs and north of Selmer. If this thing does put down a tornado, it'll be near the Adamsville, the Crump, and the Savannah areas, or actually north of that, near State Highway 22 and State Highway 69. So please be sure to watch out if you guys live in those areas, and even in Saltillo, to where there could potentially be something tornadic. Still also this other tornado warning here in Mississippi. I'm not seeing too much with that at this time because there's still a big old outflow boundary that's out in front, and it's kind of preventing this thing from getting a lot of its moisture. So not really too much to worry about with that, in my opinion. Still, this tornado warning here for portions of eastern Nashville. As I said, if you're in downtown Nashville, you are in the clear from this storm. There is another storm that is back behind this near Fairview, so we will continue to watch out to see what that storm could potentially do. But from the immediate danger, the reason why they issued the tornado warning is because of this particular storm. Just to the east of the international airport, this storm is out of the risk here, or is out of your area here if you are in Nashville. You guys should be fine just for this moment. But Belinda City, Mount Juliet, Rural Hill, you guys are still in the path of this storm. There is still some rotation, but you have to actually go up in tilt, basically meaning you have to go look up in the sky just a little bit to actually see. And there is some pretty good amounts of rotation here. You can see greens and blues moving towards the radar, reds moving away. Everything is still pretty broad at this time. Nothing is really uniformly stacked within a certain area to where we could see the bright pixels right next to each other on opposite sides of the spectrum, which usually tells us that there is a more concentrated area of vorticity in the atmosphere, at least within this particular storm. So nothing really too crazy within this here just for this second. But let's take a look at chat here real quickly. I appreciate everyone who's come into the stream. Thank you guys so much for being here and being supportive. I'm going to try and cover as much as I possibly can and as late as I possibly can, because obviously there is a good amount of some severe weather here this evening. I know there are not as many significant tornadoes as what we had earlier on today. I mean, of course, today has been a crazy day across the board, and, you know, we don't exactly want that to happen in the middle of the night, but I will try to make sure that whatever does happen, I try to make sure you guys get everything you may need to know, as well as what all could potentially happen later on as well. One thing I will ask, if you guys haven't already, please be sure to help us spread this information with as many people as possible. Whether you're just sending a text message to a friend or a family member, or you're even sharing the live stream on social media and doing all sorts of stuff like that. Just all the little small things can help to try and spread awareness with these storms, especially since it's 3:14 a.m., right? It's in the middle of the night, and people, I'm pretty sure, are not exactly expecting this stuff to happen. So any sort of awareness is good awareness when it comes to this event. All right, goodness gracious. This is a lot of people here in the chat. Let's see if we can pull this up and try to get as many people covered as we possibly can. We'll start with Hermitage. Hermitage, Tennessee is currently obviously in the tornado warning right now. But for this moment in time, the rotation in itself actually looks to be a lot further to the south and east of you. You're getting a lot of wind and hail. If you stay indoors, you stay away from windows, you'll be good in Hermitage. Eastern Kentucky right now is seeing a lot of strong damaging winds. We'll go over to Eastern Kentucky here real quickly. You can see we have a current severe thunderstorm warning, which does include areas from Jackson all the way up into West Liberty, and could potentially even head off towards the Sandy Hook, the Blaine, and the Paintsville area. There's also a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for portions near Ashland, Grayson, and even all the way up into Huntington, West Virginia. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail with a lot of these. I cannot rule out the potential for a spin-up or two when it comes to the tornado risk. I'm assuming you guys have been paying attention for the majority of the night, but if you haven't, and I play the loop here for you all these red polygons that you see on your screen are tornado warnings that have been issued by the National Weather Service. Even though we haven't seen a tornado warning here in Eastern Kentucky for a good bit, there is still the chance for it to happen, and if it does happen, we'll cover it immediately. But for right now, it looks like things have kind of settled down a little bit in the tornado department. If there's really anywhere that I'm watching out for the potential of maybe some sort of tornadic activity, it would be this area over here near Grassy Creek. This area near Grassy Creek, West Liberty, White Oak, Silver Hill, Moon, and Maisie. That would be the area that I would watch out for the most when it comes to maybe the potential for a spin-up tornado possible. You can see here on the rotation, it actually does have that too. We do have some of the greens if I pause it here, and that is a new tornado warning that got issued.
Tornado warning for Central Boyd County in northeastern Kentucky, southeastern Greenup County in northeastern Kentucky, southeastern Carter County in northeastern Kentucky, southwestern Lawrence County in southeastern Ohio,
Ashland.
northern Wayne County in western West Virginia.
So that is a new tornado warning that got issued over here along Interstate 64 near Grayson, Hitchens, Rush, as well as Cattlesburg, Summit, and Ashland. If you're in these areas, you need to take your proper precautions if you haven't already. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, bathroom, closet, any way you can put as many walls between yourself and the outdoors as possible. So that way, if anything bad does happen, it has to go through as many layers before it finally does get to you. So please watch out in Grayson and Rush, Cattlesburg, Summit, and Ashland. The rotation is somewhere within this area. My best guess, based off of how intense some of the winds are over here near Hitchens, is probably this area right here. This area right here, I'm assuming, is where there's going to be the best rotation. I'm going to also look at Charleston's radar to see if maybe there is another area. And wow, my goodness, is the radar malfunctioning here. It definitely does look like that. And another area of rotation, maybe now it's fixed. That's way better than what it was. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, it does look like this area over here near Grayson and Hitchens, and then another area of rotation that is back within the storm that is right in here. This is actually here and here. So this area of rotation is what we would be watching for the potential of maybe something tornadic right within that area. So that's the reason why a new tornado warning has been issued over there. There might also be a new tornado warning here in southern Ohio heading into Scoido, I believe that is what it's called, that county, as well as Lawrence County, Gallia County, and Jackson County. I think it's actually heading out of, that county. It's going to be heading out of there. It's going to be getting out of that risk, moving on further towards the east, towards Point Pleasant. So if you know anyone who lives over there, let them know that stuff could be happening there as well. Heading back to our storm here in Nashville, tornado warning over here. Now the storm is starting to pass Lakewood, Green Hill, and Hendersonville. You guys are good. You're out of the risk. You're done for right now. Still a storm back behind this. We're checking this storm right now, and it doesn't look all too crazy. It has a little bit of elevated rotation, but nothing that is consolidated from the looks of it. Should be fine for right now. So as I said, Hendersonville, you're out of the tornado risk with this immediate thunderstorm. You're good. Same thing with downtown Nashville. Same thing with Gallatin. You guys are a little too far north. Same with Lakewood. You guys are fine in that sense. But it is still Mount Juliet. It is still Belinda City. It is still Rural Hill. I urge you guys to still stay in some form of safe space, underground or lowest innermost part of your building if you guys can. Why is my name Nate Snyder? Because if you say N8 out loud, it's Nate. So, there you go with that. The one thing that I will provide with any sort of comfort for you guys here in Mount Juliet, Belinda City, Rural Hill, and Lebanon, the rotation is not that strong right now. It has not intensified over the past, say, 5-10 minutes that we've been really intensively watching this, and we've even been watching this way earlier than when it got over into Nashville. This storm has had a history of producing tornadoes, and it does not look like it's doing a whole lot at this time with that. So, right now, things are looking really good. Things are looking really good. This warning does expire in 24 minutes, so there is a good bit of time between now and the time it does expire. But even if, it doesn't, even if it expires at that time frame, or if they cancel it early, it's still something that we're going to want to continue to just be mindful of. Something to have in the back of our head. We're going to continue to watch this storm. We're going to continue to give you guys information. But for right now, things are looking really good for you guys. Let's take a look. Could I go over Pennsylvania and what we can expect? Briefly, very briefly. Western Pennsylvania is just going to be seeing a lot of damaging winds. I'll be straightforward and honest with you. Severe thunderstorm warning here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and nothing really much else with it. There is the potential for a spin-up over here, specifically near Wind Ridge. They could issue a tornado warning here for Greene County and maybe even the surrounding areas like Washington County. But there is not really much else with this. This is just a lot of strong damaging winds that are going to be moving off into southwestern portions of Pennsylvania. Look back at the channel, or at the chat. Yes, West Nashville is good. Can I touch base with the storm in Hardin County, Tennessee? I definitely can. Let me pull Nashville up here real quickly. So there is a tornado warning here. They just issued a new tornado warning here for this cell in Linden. I was actually watching the storm, and I was like, yeah, they did. So, we'll talk about the cell in Hardin first. We'll go through the ping. They'll tell you the counties that are in this new warning.
Tornado warning for northwestern Lewis County in Middle Tennessee, central Perry County in Middle Tennessee, western Hickman County in Middle Tennessee.
So if you are in those counties, please get in your safe space, and a new tornado warning has also been issued.
Tornado warning for northwestern Meigs County in southeastern Ohio, Gallia County in southeastern Ohio, southeastern Jackson County in southeastern Ohio, north central Lawrence County in southeastern Ohio, northwestern Mason County in western West Virginia.
Chat, that's the area that we were talking about earlier, where that potential rotation was. And we said that that would potentially head towards Point Pleasant. So they definitely are seeing that as well, the National Weather Service. I believe this is out of Charleston, West Virginia, and it is. So folks over there in Rio Grande and Point Pleasant, as well as Vinton, need to get in their safe space there in Ohio and even on the border into West Virginia. Going back down to this tornado warning, though, this new tornado warning that has been issued and the tornado warning that is southwest of it. First off, we'll go to the tornado warning that is in Hardin County. It was asked by someone in chat, so we're going to just talk about it here real quickly. If you are in Savannah, Tennessee, there's a very good chance that you are looking at severe weather that is right outside your window. That is if you were deciding to look at it, I wouldn't say willingly, but if you saw it outside your window, if you saw lightning.
Tornado warning for north central Tippah County in northeastern Mississippi, northern Alcorn County in northeastern Mississippi, southeastern Hardeman County in West Tennessee, McNairy County in West Tennessee, southwestern Hardin County in West Tennessee.
Well, they're just going to issue tornado warning after tornado warning after tornado warning here, chat. Once again, if you hear your county that is issued by the automated voice message, please take it seriously and get into your safe space. Underground if you have a facility, but the lowest innermost part of your building is just as safe if the building, all right, is structurally secure. I'm not talking about mobile homes because mobile homes are not safe. If you have a structurally secure building, you get into the lowest innermost part of your building, and stay away from windows. That'll be the best way for you to be able to stay safe from these storms. Just as a safety precaution, most of the time, all right, I'll give you an interesting statistic that came out about 3 years ago that I heard. About 70 to 78% of tornado warnings didn't actually produce tornadoes, all right? And that's kind of the reason why some people don't exactly trust meteorologists. They think, oh, it's the boy who cried wolf. But there's a reason why they issue these tornado warnings. And on the off chance that it's not that 70%, that's not that 78%, they want you to be safe. That's the big thing there. It's the safety aspect of things. So, once again, all right, for right now, I'll let you know if things are going to be bad or not. If you are in a tractor trailer, or not in a tractor trailer, if you are in a mobile home, tractor trailer, or any sort of car, I recommend that you guys find a local, could be grocery mart, could be gas station, and just ride the storms out there. Trust me when I say it's a lot more safer than where you're at within those places that I mentioned earlier. So once again, tornado warning over here for Hardin County. This is north of Savannah heading to the Saltillo area. There is some pretty strong rotation here. You can see the blues are moving towards the radar. Reds are moving away. Right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation would be. Just to the north of Adamsville, crossing over U.S., or actually that is State Highway 69, north of Crump. There's also the report here 4 minutes ago of a rotating wall cloud with a beaver tail 2 miles north of my position, illuminated by constant lightning. That tells me that the storm is definitely continuing to be intense.
Tornado warning for northwestern Smith County in Middle Tennessee, eastern Sumner County in Middle Tennessee, northeastern Wilson County in Middle Tennessee, western Macon County in Middle Tennessee, Turrisdale County in Middle Tennessee.
So that's an extension. That's an extension of that Nashville cell that will continue to move off towards the north and east. We'll finish with this thought here real quickly, then we'll do some overviews on some of these other tornado warnings here, and then we'll just wing it here, chat. That's what we're doing here at this point. But still, Saltillo here in Tennessee, need to get in your safe space immediately as the storm continues to head off towards the north and east, and then eventually this will be heading very close to Clifton. So if you're in Clifton, Tennessee, also please keep in mind, watch out for this storm. But Savannah, you guys are good for right now, but you have another storm that's going to be coming in behind you that is going to be just to the south and west of Selmer. For people who have been paying attention to weather here today, Middleton and Selmer have been pretty much the hot spots here this late overnight hours. They've been hit by storm after storm, tornado after tornado, and it's just honestly one of those things to where they honestly need a break. Fortunately, with this storm, this is going to be heading south of you guys. Middleton and Selmer, you guys are in the clear for right now. I will let you guys know if that could potentially change, but Middleton is definitely in the clear for this moment, so you guys should be fine. Eastview, Guys, Mitchie, as well as areas near Stantonville, Nixon, and then eventually maybe even Savannah. You guys are going to watch out here in southern Tennessee. This is where we could potentially see something tornadic. You can see the rotation is right within this area right here. Greens and blues are moving towards the radar. Reds are moving away. Right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation would be. So please watch out for that. We do have the HAZ cameras that are up above us here. That is hazcams.com. New tornado warning.
Tornado warning for southeastern Pleasants County in northwestern West Virginia, Ritchie County in northwestern West Virginia, southwestern Doddridge County in northern West Virginia, central Ward County in northwestern West Virginia, southwestern Tyler County in northern West Virginia, east central Wood County in northwestern West Virginia.
That's like Parkersburg and that area over there. So we'll talk about that in a bit. That's another tornado warning here, chat.
Tornado warning for northeastern Wayne County in south central Kentucky, southwestern Laurel County in south central Kentucky, southern Pulaski County in south central Kentucky, north central McCreary County in south central Kentucky, northwestern Whitley County in south central Kentucky.
So the radar is currently malfunctioning at this time. The radar is having some difficulty from the Charleston radar. But right now, we're going to just check up on these tornado warnings here that are in Kentucky, as well as into West Virginia. Ashland right now is currently getting a lot of strong damaging winds, but I don't see anything that is super tornadic at this time for you guys. So honestly, they might let that tornado warning expire here pretty soon. Same thing with the storm in Point Pleasant. It looked like this thing could have potentially had a brief spin up that was west of Rio Grande, and that's it. So just continue to stay indoors, stay away from windows for right now. This is definitely one of those things to where if a tornado warning is issued for your area, you're still going to want to heed it regardless of what I say, because you would rather be on the safe side rather than, being caught without any sort of, don't jump to conclusions. That's the big thing I want to say here. It's very much so safer for you to be able to listen to what I say, but also understand that it's a whole lot safer for you to stay, whole lot safer, I should say, for you to stay within your safe place, wherever that may be, until the storms are finally out of your area. That's the big thing that I always stress here on this channel. We want to make sure that we stay safe all the way throughout these storms. The radar is just absolutely malfunctioning. There is at some point and somewhere, there is a little bit of rotation here. And there it is, actually. There is a little bit of rotation just to the west of Mellon, heading towards Harrisville, Cairo, and Pennsboro. This is south and east of Parkersburg, West Virginia, if you live here in Ritchie County, as well as areas near Tyler and Doddridge County. Guys need to get in your safe space, underground or lowest innermost part of your building if you haven't already. There is still a little bit of rotation, actually, just to the west of Rio Grande. Just maybe not anything that's too crazy. It's just aloft. Everything is up in the mid portions of the atmosphere, so nothing has really translated down to the ground quite yet. Let's go back to Middle Tennessee, or actually, let's go down to Southern Kentucky, and then we'll go down to Middle Tennessee, because as I said, there are quite a few things that are going on, and we're going to actually change the title of our stream here to tornado warnings, tornado warning coverage, I guess. Night time tornado warning coverage. That should be good. So a lot of people are asking Middle Tennessee. I'll look at that here in a second, but this is a new tornado warning here near Somerset, Kentucky. If you're near Somerset, Burnside, or Hargis, this is a tornadic thunderstorm here that looks to potentially be trying to produce a tornado. You can see the strong velocities here, red's moving away, green's moving towards, right in the middle. Once again is where the tornadic rotation would be. I don't see anything that is indicative of maybe a debris signature. We are still quite a bit of ways away from a lot of radars. This is kind of a little bit of a mini dead zone to where there is a radar hole, if you will, a lack of coverage. So the actual radar verification may not be perfect, but there is still a sign here that there is rotation, and this actually is a supercell that is sitting down here in southern portions of Kentucky. So Somerset, Burnside, Hargis, as well as areas near Keavy, and eventually over into the London area here in Kentucky is where we could potentially see some significant severe weather possible. We'll head over back towards Nashville. We'll start with our tornado warning that was formed over here as an extension of the old Nashville tornado warning. This is now heading towards Hartsville, as well as Lebanon and Lafayette, as well as the surrounding areas. This is going to be going well off towards the north, well north of I-40 now. So if you're in I-40, you are out of the risk of this immediate tornado-warned storm. But this is now heading towards Hartsville, Lafayette, Willette, and eventually Red Boiling Springs. So please watch out there. I don't see any major rotation with this storm here. There might be a little bit of rotation that is about to cross over U.S. Highway 231, but that would be north of Lebanon. So that looks to be fine here for right now, and that should head into the rural areas of northern Wilson County before it finally gets over into Trousdale County. So Trousdale County definitely is going to want to be on alert, especially Hartsville. Hartsville is definitely in the direct path of that particular storm. Heading over into Nashville, severe thunderstorm warning over here. I'm not sure if this has a tornado possible tag on it, but that is a new tornado warning, so listen in real quick.
Tornado warning for Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, southwestern Sumner County in Middle Tennessee, north central Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Wilson County in Middle Tennessee.
Real quickly, Roger with the 5, thank you so much, I really do appreciate that. And then Israel with the 2, thank you so much, I really do appreciate it. Says, any reports of a tornado on the ground in Wheeling? No, I haven't heard anything from Wheeling. But there was a little bit of rotation just to the west of it. So that is something to consider. I know a lot of people are also going to be asking, that is a new tornado warning for Nashville. So there you go. Nashville is once again under a tornado warning. If you live in the city of Nashville, all right, this storm is going to be right on your doorstep. And as a matter of fact here, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a couple of sky cameras that are over here in Nashville. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull up at least one of them. I'm going to see if we can find a decent sky camera here for you all to be able to watch this storm, see what this thing could potentially be doing. But there is a very, very interesting view here. City view, Nashville. I think we could be getting away with this as well. Yes. We're going to want to go to the city view camera. And wow, that is actually, we'll go full screen here, chat, real quickly. This is the view of Nashville. This is looking north. And pretty soon we're going to be able to see whatever this thing is going to be, doing. Oh boy. That definitely looks like a tornado here on the western side of Nashville. Northwest of Belmead. It could potentially be a tornado here. If you live in these areas here in Nashville, if you live in downtown Nashville, you need to get in your safe space immediately. This is absolutely an area of rotation where the velocity is starting to stack in a uniform way. And so things are starting to consolidate right within that area there, just south of I-40. If you live northwest of Belmead, if you live near the intersection of I-40 and I-40, 440 on the western side of Nashville, tornado warning for your area. All right, tornado warning here for your area. Let's go into the radar, show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this here, guys. You definitely have some rotation here. Green's moving towards the radar, red's moving away. Right in the middle is where the rotation is at. And notice how uniform it is. Notice how similar it is on both sides of the spectrum with our velocities. This tells us right here that there is definitely something tornadic on the western side of the city of Nashville. So the hope right here, right now, is that nothing significant happens with this. Hopefully this thing doesn't uptrend. I will actually take a look and see here if there is another traffic camera that we could potentially use. The latest scan just came in, and it did weaken just a bit. All right, so the rotation did weaken just a little bit. That does tell us here that things may be kind of staggering just for a little. We'll see if that results in a downtrend or an uptrend, but we did have what appeared to have been a local area of vorticity, which could very easily be associated with a tornado here that could have occurred just to the north and west of Belmead. At least it could very well have been very, very brief. Still, if you are in Nashville, regardless, you need to get into your safe space. Lowest, innermost part of your building if you guys can. Oh my goodness, chat. Let's look back here. Chat, this is the entire... I believe this is the inflow tail that is going into the storm. This is the inflow tail that is going into the storm. And that is low to the ground. This is scraping some buildings. Some of the tops of the buildings actually go beyond the clouds. That's how low the clouds are on this storm. That is pretty crazy. So if you know anyone that lives in downtown Nashville, they need to get in their safe space immediately. We're going to continue to watch out for this camera more and more, but we will listen here real quick.
Tornado warning for southern Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, northern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee.
Wow. So they pulled the trigger on that tornado warned storm too here. Well, it is now tornado warned. This right here, this supercell that is northwest of Franklin is now tornado warned. You can see the classic signature of the rain wrapping around in a hook-like fashion, inflow coming in unimpeded. So right about there is where the tornadic rotation would be. The velocities show that exactly. Actually, it's actually a little bit more towards the north and east, but still some pretty decent velocities here. Some bright pinks that are moving away from the radar and some greens that are moving towards. So right in the middle is where we're going to want to watch out for the potential of some tornadic rotation. This is another tornado warning for the city of Nashville and areas that are south of Nashville near Brentwood, Forest Hills, Berry Hill, all the way over near the international airport. There is 2 tornadic thunderstorms that are sitting right next to each other. The good news here for you guys right now, the one area of rotation that just ended up being on the western side of Nashville, the actual rotation in itself is actually going to go a little bit to the north. It's actually going to miss the downtown area, and it also is not as consolidated as it once was. So that is a very positive trend. That tells us that this thing might not entirely be either on the ground or it might not be that strong at this time. However, what that also means here is that you also are going to be dealing with, at minimum, strong damaging winds from the outside edges of wherever that rotation may be, in addition to whatever the external conditions to the storm could be, such as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-sized hail, etc., although the warning actually says quarter-sized hail, so that is definitely a potential there as well. So folks that are over in Nashville, once again, need to get in their safe space if they haven't already, lowest innermost part of their building, and stay away from windows if they can. We'll take a look real quickly at our live view out of Nashville one more time here, because as I said, our wall cloud is low to the ground here, chat. The rain is actually starting to come in, and the wall cloud is actually hiding back behind all of this rain. But look at how low to the ground these clouds are. Some of these buildings that we saw earlier about 2 to 3 minutes ago were actually touching the bottoms of these clouds. That usually means that we have very high amounts of moisture out and around in this general environment. And this is definitely a sign that tells us that this is a pretty good environment for some tornadic activity in general, coupled, of course, with the strong wind shear and the strong dynamics in the atmosphere. So everything seems to be verifying here exactly as what the models have been saying. And now the visibility of Nashville is starting to just absolutely go. This storm is now starting to hit Nashville, and we might actually want to go to a different camera here in Nashville that actually shows us a little bit better stuff here of what could be happening here. That's a new tornado warning here real quickly.
Tornado warning for Lawrence County in northeastern Kentucky, central Wayne County in western West Virginia.
So if you live in those counties, please be sure to watch out. Franklin, Tennessee, you guys are good. This storm is actually going to head north of you. So you guys should be fine. Same with Spring Hill, same with Murfreesboro. There is the chance for more storms to come on through later on tonight into early tomorrow morning for you guys, though. All right? If you are south of all these thunderstorms, you're not in the immediate path, but you will eventually get some
Tornado
storms.
warning for northwestern Lewis County in Middle Tennessee, south central Dickson County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Maury County in Middle Tennessee, southwestern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, Hickman County in Middle Tennessee.
You know, I'll tell you what, chat. 12 tornado warnings right now at 3:43 a.m. Central was not exactly on my bucket list, but we do have that. So a lot of tornado warnings over here across the board. Definitely something to watch out for with all of this. We'll move down to the south and west. That is an extension of our tornado warning here that was over in Perry County, is now heading towards Centerville, as well as Duck River and Kimmins. So if you're over here in Kimmins, Centerville, Duck River, as well as areas over here, and this is, I believe, Hickman County in Tennessee, need to get into your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building. Rotation, not exactly as strong, but it is still evident, and that is another tornado warning. Goodness gracious.
Tornado warning for southwestern Fayette County in southwestern Pennsylvania, southeastern Greene County in southwestern Pennsylvania, northwestern Marion County in northern West Virginia,
Really?
northern Monongalia County in northern West Virginia, southeastern Wetzel County in northern West Virginia.
Goodness gracious, chat. This thing is just not going to let me talk, is it? Sheesh. Well, as I said, area in Hickman County needs to watch out. More storms that are down here to the south and west. Corinth, Mississippi, you guys are good. The storm has moved off to the north. It's crossed over into Tennessee. You guys are fine. Savannah, not Georgia. Savannah, Tennessee, however, you guys need to watch out. Not only is that first storm already past you, and there is still strong rotation over near Saltillo, so folks over near Clifton need to watch out. But you got another storm back behind you south of Selmer. This is going to head off towards Eastview, Stantonville, and then eventually towards you guys here, especially within the next, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes here according to this tracker. Typical area of rotation here within our supercell on the leading end of the hook near Eastview is what we're going to want to watch out for. The rotation is not as strong though. Green's moving towards the radar, gray's moving away. You can see on our scale on the left-hand side though, it's kind of near the middle of the scale, which means there's not a lot of strong rotation, not a lot of strong wind. So
tornado warning for north central Martin County in northeastern Kentucky, northern Johnson County in northeastern Kentucky.
Goodness gracious, chat. All right, let's go over to Kentucky. Let's go see what this stuff is all about here real quick. Let us go to, where is Jackson? There is Jackson. Still that tornado warning over near Somerset, Kentucky. The rotation is nowhere near as strong as it once was. As a matter of fact, this thing has kind of really lost a lot of its edge. If there is any remnants of this rotation, it would be over just to the south of Shopville in two separate areas, so it may look like it's trying to recycle. It may look like it's trying to die. It's kind of just in the middle of a phase right now, and we'll just come back to this here pretty soon. But if this thing does re-intensify, Bernstadt, London, you guys are going to be in the path of this here in southern Kentucky. Moving up to this storm that's over here heading into Lawrence County. We have a tornado warning over here. We had an area of rotation near Flat Gap here. Green's moving. No, this is weird. Hold up, chat. Greens towards, reds away. This is anticyclonic. This is not how that works. Yeah, okay, sure. Whatever you want. Anyways, area of rotation. This one's actually a lot better. Look at this, chat. This is actually way better. It's a lot weaker, but it's a lot better than anticyclonic rotation. Basically meaning it's spinning the wrong way. That doesn't happen a whole lot, and every time it does, it usually doesn't produce anything. So a lot of just strong damaging winds from what I see near Adams, Gallup, and Louisa. But down here near Sitka, there is a little bit of rotation there, as well as areas that could potentially be near Ulysses. So watch out if you're over there in northeastern portions of Kentucky. We'll go over here real quickly to the storms that are in West Virginia. This one that's going to be heading towards Morgantown, which is where WVU is. There is a little bit of rotation that is north of the Mannington area and just to the west of Fairview, but it is pretty broad at this time. So just really, you guys are going to want to continue to just watch out for the storm. I would advise, just regardless, getting in your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building, bathroom or a closet if you can, and try and stay away from windows. This other storm that's heading into Ritchie County as well as Doddridge and Tyler County is not really doing too much from what I can tell. The rotation in itself actually has just kind of collapsed upon itself, but we are also pretty far away from the radar. So maybe what's happening at the surface isn't exactly what is happening that is, higher up we look in the radar. There is still a little bit of general rotation here near West Union. I'm not too sure if they're going to issue a new tornado warning, but if they do, Doddridge County and then areas that are near Harrison County and southern Wetzel County should definitely be in the new tornado warning that gets issued. Let's go back to Tennessee here. Let's go back to the storms over here. And let's talk about the areas that are out in front of this. I think it is important to let everyone know that this stuff could potentially be watching out for what's going on out in front of this. So these storms are currently going on a train. This is all moving in pretty much the same direction, and it is slowly moving off to the east, at least very slowly but surely. And so folks that may be over there are definitely going to want to watch out as to the potential of maybe some stronger severe weather that could try and move through. But if you are out in front of this, like say Murfreesboro, Carthage, Cookeville, Columbia, Spring Hill, Lawrenceburg, you still have a lot of time between now and later on, potentially in the early morning hours, for these storms to actually finally get near you. So please be sure to watch out if you haven't already, as these storms are definitely going to be able to, they're going to still be this type of severe by the time it moves over. But we'll get some timings, some temporary timings here for you all, so that way we can get not really any sort of further confusion. We'll get this here, we'll put this here. Log in already, please. Every single time, for whatever reason, this thing doesn't exactly keep me logged in, but it's fine. I am completely okay with resetting all of that. So some timings here. Top left-hand portion of your screen, you can see that is the timing in Central Daylight Time. A lot of these storms are going to continue to march its way further and further east, but at a very slow rate. So at some point tomorrow morning, you guys could potentially be seeing some severe weather, but it is very much so possible that if you're in areas over like Johnson City, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Pikeville, maybe even Columbia, you guys might be a little bit too far east or a little too far south, and you guys might not see a whole lot until maybe in the afternoon tomorrow. So just something to watch out for. And then there is, of course, going to be some more severe weather that's going to move on through tomorrow afternoon, which we will more than likely be live for that. So stay tuned to the channel if you haven't already. But still, regardless of that, it really does seem like this area that is currently being impacted by storms will likely be impacted by more storms overnight tonight, and they will be the ones that will have to watch out for the potential of some severe weather. So hopefully that answers a lot of your guys' questions for maybe people who are out in front of this or maybe people who are east of it. It's really just confined within this area here of Tennessee here for the rest of this evening. Clarksville is good. Everywhere that is actually out to the west of this, and I will show you guys what I mean. So everywhere that is out to the west of these storms, out within this corridor, is actually good as well. So like Union City, Paris, Clarksville, Hopkinsville, Memphis, Jackson, you guys are good as well. It's just, once again, right within this specific corridor is where we could potentially see our severe weather here in Tennessee. And that was actually kind of a crappy little diagram, so we'll update that again. Once again, this corridor right here. Out in front, not really too much stuff, okay? Out behind it, not really too much stuff. It's just within this corridor of tornado warnings, that's where we're going to be watching for the most severe weather activity overnight tonight. So that's Lafayette, that's Hartsville, that's Lebanon, that's Mount Juliet, that's Nashville, that's potentially even Franklin, as well as Centerville, and then all the way down over to portions near Savannah and Selmer. You guys are all going to want to watch. Let's go back into some of the analysis here of some of these storms real quickly. We're going to try and see if we can figure out if anything tries to spin up quick. This storm did have some pretty strong rotation northeast of Lebanon. Now it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. I don't see, yeah, it doesn't look like this thing produced a tornado here based off of looking at the correlation coefficient. So definitely something that is good news, but if you're near Juliet as well as Hermitage Springs, you guys are going to potentially see this severe storm as it heads off into Jackson, as well as Macon County and Clay County. We also have these storms that are moving through Nashville at this time, storms that are heading near the international airport. There's actually some real interesting stuff here. Some remarks are indicative of 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which is surprisingly sub-severe. This is not as severe as what you would typically see for a lot of this. So that is definitely some good news with a lot of these storms. But still, regardless, we're going to have to watch out for what could potentially be sudden changes within these events. So we can definitely see intensifications. We can see some weakenings. We've seen that up and down tonight already, all right? With all the storms that have, formed down in southwestern Tennessee and northern Mississippi, that's exactly what happened. So we're just kind of looking at all sorts of options and just scanning all storms to try and figure out which ones could potentially do what. And we'll see how these things can try and move about here too. All right. That's there for right now. As I said, Lebanon is out of the risk here when it comes to that particular tornadic thunderstorm. I don't see any real intense areas of rotation except for maybe this area south of Hendersonville. This will stay south of Hendersonville and actually parallel US Highway 31 East, but just a little bit further south along the river. So that'll continue to stay there. All right. If you are near Gallatin, though, and Castellian Springs, I would watch out for the potential of something here. Maybe some strong damaging winds if this thing doesn't produce a tornado. But if it does produce a tornado, it'll be near your guys' area. Do not see a debris signature with this, though. That is kind of the good news here. I definitely do not want to see that. I still see some rotation aloft with this area near Forest Hills and Brentwood, but it is not super consolidated. Still, folks that are over near the International Airport, near Brentwood, near Oak Hill, and then even out eventually towards Mount Juliet and Green Hill are still going to want to watch out for this particular thunderstorm. Right here, this supercell that is arcing just like this is what we're going to want to watch out for, and that just updated. So let's see if anything has changed. Is that a debris signature? That is a tough call. I'm not too sure, but that is a new tornado warning.
Tornado warning for southeastern Lawrence County in northeastern Kentucky, southwestern Lincoln County in central West Virginia, southeastern Wayne County in western West Virginia.
Yeah, that's pretty typical, I guess, because West Virginia is known for its tornado warnings all of a sudden. It doesn't look like that's a debris signature. It looks like we're still good. It looks like we're still good. That could very well be hail. We're that close to the radar to where it could be. Let's take a look here. As I said, this storm here near Duck River, it's taking its time trying to figure itself out. It's not exactly consolidated at the moment. So let's go down to this other tornadic thunderstorm here that is north of Corinth, Mississippi. To find my Memphis radar here. That's a new tornado warning.
Tornado warning for northeastern Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, southern Sumner County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Wilson County in Middle Tennessee.
So if you're in those counties, please seek a sturdy structure. Stay away from windows. Lowest innermost part of a sturdy structure. Bathroom or a closet. If you have a basement, get into that too. But just continue to be safe. Continue to be prepared from these strong thunderstorms that are capable of producing tornadoes. This storm that's heading towards Savannah isn't really rotating as much as it was before. And that's the good news here. This thing is just kind of stagnating, and it's not really doing anything more than hopefully we want it to, because we don't, well, what I mean by that is we don't want anything to happen with this storm. That's what we really don't want. The last thing we need is this entire area that has seen multiple tornadoes already get another tornado. So let us please not see anything from that one. Still, tornadic thunderstorm will head into Hardin County. Stay in your safe space if you are in Savannah, as well as areas near Clifton. That new tornado warning is for Henderson, Gallatin, Mount Juliet, Green Hill, and Lakewood. And it's for that area of rotation that I was talking about. They actually are going to mention this here. I'm kind of interested to see. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Lakewood. So it's the area of rotation that we were looking at earlier. And they decided they were going to issue a new tornado warning because of it. Just because, number one, a lot of these other tornado warnings are probably talking about other areas of interest. And number two, if you issue a new tornado warning for a new area of interest, it'll actually allow the warning to be extended for a little bit longer than, say, some of these other tornado warnings, meaning it won't expire as soon as the other ones. So, new tornado warning there for Hendersonville, as well as Gallatin and Castellian Springs. If you're in these areas, please get into your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building. It looks like we only have 3 tornado warnings outside of the state right now. We'll come back to Tennessee in a second, but once again, it's just this corridor here in Tennessee that stretches from Savannah all the way up into Clifton, to Hohenwald, to Centerville, to Nashville, to Hendersonville, and then all the way up to Lafayette. This area here, all the way up even into Hartsville, is where we're going to want to watch out for the potential of some strong, severe weather here, at least for this evening all the way into, dawn. So please keep in mind with that. If you're in areas like Cookeville or Murfreesboro or Columbia or Lawrenceburg, you guys aren't really going to be seeing a whole lot of stuff here, at least for right now. But this corridor, this is what we're going to be focusing on here, at least in Tennessee. That tornado warning for this cell that is heading into Willette, it lost its tornado warning. You guys saw that, right? So that is not as pretty significant as it once was. We saw that kind of deteriorate slowly but surely. And now that's some good news. Now it's not going to really be all too crazy. Same thing for this damage threat considerable severe thunderstorm warning that went into Cumberland County, Kentucky. That also lost a bit of its traction. Hopefully this is a good trend. Hopefully this means that these storms are just going to die out and just not do a whole lot. That would be perfect. I would appreciate, real quickly, guys, if you know anyone who lives in these areas and still just so happen to be awake, feel free to spread the word that this stuff is possible, all right? And people should, if you would like to, it doesn't hurt to check in, to try and, keep them to stay safe. We want to make sure that these people out in the middle of the night at 4 a.m., even though you're probably going to hear it for them 8 hours from now, they're going to send you a text and say, "Why did you wake me up in the middle of the night?" I bet you that if there is anything that happens, and I hope that it doesn't, but if there is anything that happens and, one person gets, helped from even just this coverage in general, or even other people's coverages that have been here live on YouTube, I mean, that's well worth it in my opinion. I would rather be a part of the solution. So, feel free to spread the word, whether that's sharing this live stream on social media, sending a text message to your friends and family, or helping us get onto the YouTube algorithm by just interacting. You could hit the thumbs up button, or you can just talk and chat, either or. You can unsubscribe or unlike at the end of the stream. I don't care. I just want to make sure that people stay safe. It would be nice to build a community, but that's besides the point. We'll go up to our tornado warnings here in West Virginia real quickly, as the one that was over near Doddridge County has now been canceled, so that is no longer a thing. These storms that are over here on the border of Kentucky and West Virginia heading into Wayne County are still tornado warned, and they still have a little bit of rotation, but it's not that crazy, to be honest with you. It's not anywhere near the stretch of what we have seen before. These are the areas right here that I would watch near Webb and areas that are north of Crum. You can see the greens that are moving towards the radar and the reds that are moving away. So it is still definitely there. There is still rotation. And it is absolutely valid that a tornado warning has been issued for this area. If you're in Harts, or if your area is near Crum and Webb, get in the lowest innermost part of your building, sturdy building I might add, and stay away from windows. You do that, you should honestly be fine. Alright, but there doesn't seem to be anything super significant at this time, so if I can provide a little bit of relief, it's that comment that I just made. We'll go down here, and we'll actually go over to Pittsburgh's radar. Still, there is a little bit of rotation that is northwest of Morgantown. Actually, is going to be heading towards the Point Marion areas. But it's not that crazy, chat. This thing is not really spinning as much as it once was. I wouldn't be surprised here in 10 minutes if this tornado warning was allowed to expire. I firmly believe that. And that would be good news. That would be definitely some good news there. So, let's go back over to our storms in Nashville. We are now looking at only 3 tornado warnings. Only 3 tornado warnings here for Tennessee, one of which does include the city of Nashville. The good news is, Nashville, from what it seems, is not in the path of the tornadic activity. The bad news is, of course, is that you guys are definitely seeing some damaging winds and some spotty hail. So hopefully if you are in and around the Nashville area, you are indoors, you are away from windows, and preferably you're in the lowest innermost part of your building. But for right now, it definitely does look like there is some strong damaging winds and some spotty hail that could be in and around this area. So please be sure to watch out if you are in this general vicinity. I want to say here real quickly, oh my goodness, there's been so many subscribers. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I think we had a new member. Yes, we did. Star Uncensored with the member. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. And all the people who become members are basically like sponsors, I guess. Just remember that if you guys are going to become members and stuff like that, we do have live streams 48 hours in advance from major events that are for members only. It's at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We aren't going to have one anytime soon unless if it's, something like Saturday that ends up blowing up, because there is a 30% chance that is on day 4 and what would be day 3. So we'll see what happens with that. But yes, we do have some nice little members-only content for you guys that are basically for y'all, because y'all deserve it. All right, let's look at chat here. People are asking Hermitage. I've seen that probably a couple of times already. Hendersonville power is out. Just continue to stay indoors, stay away from windows. If your power is out, just make sure that you guys are staying safe. All right, I would rather you not walk outdoors and, start looking around in the sky. There's been someone, believe it or not, we saw this with the storms that were approaching Nashville earlier. The first storm that actually approached Nashville, there was actually a report of someone that got struck by lightning. I kid you not. Someone that got struck by lightning just east of Belmead on US Highway 431. It's already happened once today. Please do not make it a second, chat. Please, just don't. It is not good. Hermitage. I'm not sure if this is Hermitage, Pennsylvania, or if this is Hermitage, Tennessee. But from the looks of it, Hermitage, Pennsylvania is on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. So I'm going to go with that and hope to goodness gracious that that is what you're talking about. Hermitage is fine. The line has passed you guys already. I'll show you guys here just temporarily for like 2 seconds. Ready, set, boom. Hermitage, nothing there. You're good. As quick as that. Storms have already moved off to your east, so you're fine. I believe that is Caddy or Katie. I think it's Caddy, though. Thank you so much for the membership. I really do appreciate you. And thank you so much for supporting the channel and becoming a spout spotter. Hermitage, Tennessee. See, this is what I have you guys for. This is what I have you guys for, right? Hermitage, Tennessee is definitely being hit by a thunderstorm. I'll tell you what. Thanks for the biggest dust statement in the world, Nate. You all are allowed to hate me now. No, for real. There's just a lot of hail that's going through this area. I don't see anything tornadic at this time. There could be some strong damaging winds. But it looks to me like the actual rotation has kind of fallen apart a little bit. If not, almost completely. I'm looking in the upper levels. I don't see anything super significant rotation-wise. Yeah, for right now, Hermitage is sitting real pretty. You guys are definitely sitting real pretty. Huntington, West Virginia. Give me a second, actually. That's a pretty good idea. Huntington, you're good for the day. You're done. You're good. Let's see. A lot of members are joining in here now. As I said, I appreciate you guys a lot. We have, let's see. I believe that's Sherry with the Weather Watcher. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then Susan with the Spout Spotter. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Monongahela, West Virginia. You guys are in a tornado warning right now, but honestly, the storm isn't doing too much. It's a lot of damaging winds, so just continue to stay indoors, stay away from windows. If you do so, you should be fine. Can we sleep yet in Creve Hall? Let's take a look. Well, you guys have a lot of damaging winds and large hail that's moving through your area. It's maybe not actually as much large hail now, and just more of it's breaking. There's a break. But there's going to be some more storms that are moving on through, and that's a new tornado warning for Franklin. Well, I mean, there we go.
Tornado warning for southwestern Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Maury County in Middle Tennessee, Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, east central Hickman County in Middle Tennessee.
If you live in those areas, please get into your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet, and stay away from windows. Aaron with the 10, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. And he says, what about Lake Cormorant in Mississippi? Well, the good news for you, honestly, there's a lot of thunderstorms there, but it's not too much. It's not anything that's super tornadic. You should be good for the rest of this evening, but there is the risk for severe weather tomorrow. You will have to continue to pay attention to the severe weather threat when it does kick back up again. There's also the threat for flash flooding across pretty much this entire area. If you live in a flood-prone area, please have a plan of action in case you need to avoid that. Turn around, don't drown, don't drive into flooded roadways, and if you can't escape really any sort of flood, make sure to call local authorities. They'll be able to try and help you out, hopefully. All right. Look back through chat here. We okay in Mount Juliet and Green Hill? So far right now, it's just a lot of hail, a lot of wind, nothing tornadic at this time, so things are looking good for you guys here at this time. There is still this tornadic thunderstorm that's back over here. 12 miles south of Fairview, or 15 miles east of Centerville. So they're probably talking about this area of rotation right in here. That's probably what they're talking about. There's a new area of rotation aloft that's just the south of it too. Could also be down here, all the way down in the flank. But I think I definitely think it's right within here somewhere. And that definitely seems to be what it looks like. So that's the new tornado warning. If you're in Leapers Fork, if you're in Franklin, if you're in Forest Hills, Brentwood, or Fairview, lowest innermost part of your building if you can. That tornado warning storm that ended up going through Nashville and now into Mount Juliet has been downgraded. It is now a severe thunderstorm warning with quarter-sized hail possible. We had a spotter report a while back of nickel-sized hail. We also had half-dollar-sized hail in and around this area. So don't be surprised with what all you guys could be getting. Just the good news is for right now, it doesn't seem tornadic. A lot of people are asking about Middletown, Ohio. Middletown, Ohio. That is... You guys are good. You guys are way behind the line right now. Honestly, there isn't really too much stuff. I mean, we can go over to the Wilmington radar. There's no storms over there. You guys are okay. You guys can go to sleep if you want to. A lot of areas here in Nashville are definitely going to want to continue to watch out. A lot of these storms are going to continue to just move on through, especially in the central and southern portions of Nashville. So the downtown area, down into the southern portions, and even into the eastern portions near the international airport. So I would continue to be weather aware as this continues to move on through. Is the Discord link not working? I might be able to fix that, chat. But as I said, continue to watch out for the potential of some strong, severe weather here in the Nashville area. There's also this other storm that's down here near Flatwoods. This used to be tornado warned way back when. This used to be the tornado warned storm that was near Savannah, to be specific. It still looks like it has rotation. I wouldn't be surprised if they tornado warn this again. And if they do, it'll be the Hohenwald area that gets it. So please watch out if you are in those areas. Hendersonville right now is not in any sort of tornado warning at this time. And actually, Nashville just got released of its tornado warning here. So the only tornado warning that is near Nashville is southwest of the city. It is over here in Fairview, Franklin, and Leiper's Fork. So if you're in these areas here, in the western portions of Williamson County, you guys need to get into your safe space. But we'll see if this thing could potentially sustain and still be tornadic as it heads off towards the north and east. If it does sustain, it'll head towards the southern portions of Nashville, as well as the eastern sides near the international airport. But the one thing I will say, Fairview is north of where the area of rotation is at, and the storm is moving to the north and east, meaning the storm on its current trajectory is actually going to move to the south and eventually to the east of you guys. So Fairview right now is sitting in a pretty good spot. And for Angela Marie, thank you first off for the 5. I really do appreciate you supporting the channel. She asked for Fairview coverage. There you go. This, fortunately here, we're not getting as many storms for you now, and that is good. I'm happy with that. This really... There's a lot of flash flood warnings here, chat. All right, for reference, we have 10. We have 10 flash flood warnings, and the flash flood risk is going to be pretty substantial and pretty huge for quite a while. By the way, thank you for correcting me, John. So it's Leiper's Fork. Leiper's Fork. Got you. So there's going to be a lot of rain over this entire area over really the next 3 days. The flash flood risk is going to be very real. If you're in any sort of flood-prone area, just please be sure to find a way for you to be able to get into higher ground, or even just the higher ground in general, actually, just period. If there's any sort of floods that are near you, don't go through them. Don't drive through them. I'm sure you guys have seen on the local news about some areas and their flooding and how people get trapped and stuff like that. The reason why that happens most of the time is because people think they can drive through them and they can't. That usually happens with hurricane events too. So don't be the person that is shown up on the news coverages with your car stuck in the flooded roadways. It's not great. Trust me when I say I've talked to so many people. It's not wonderful. Zanesville, Ohio is good. Anyone really in eastern Ohio, or pretty much all of Ohio with the exception... No, all of Ohio. Every single person in the state of Ohio is good. You are done for the night. You have nothing to worry about here until probably tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon. You just reminded me of something, Paloma. I have to call off from work. Give me a sec, chat. I'm gonna have to call off. Check Hendersonville, please. I absolutely can. You are right now on the edge of a severe thunderstorm warning. A lot of the main activity is actually south of you near Mount Juliet. So the good news for you all right now is you aren't being impacted at this time. Yeah, turn around, don't drown, don't drive into flooded roadways because they can appear a lot shallower than they actually are. If you haven't already, please be sure to help us spread the information with as many people as possible. If you think that people would be interested in this, or if you know people could be impacted by this. You could also help us get onto the YouTube algorithm by hitting the thumbs up button down below. It really does help us out. And that is a new tornado warning, so...
Tornado warning for northwestern Mingo County in southern West Virginia, Lincoln County in central West Virginia, northwestern Logan County in southern West Virginia, southeastern Wayne County in western West Virginia, northwestern Boone County in central West Virginia.
Perfect example, chat. When a new tornado warning gets issued, want to try and help spread the information with people who may need it. So it does look like this tornadic thunderstorm that was near Webb is still going to continue, heading into the Harts area, as well as eventually near Madison and Ridgeview. So if you live over here into portions of Lincoln County and Wayne County here in West Virginia, you need to watch out for the potential of a tornado here. And you can see there is some rotation still within the storm. It's just pretty broad. So we're watching to see if this thing can try to consolidate. If it does, fortunately, a lot of these areas, this is coal mining country down here in the southern portions of West Virginia. But that also means that there could be some localized towns that could potentially be impacted, one of which is near Farrellsburg and Harts. And the hope is that this does not get anywhere near them. So if you know anyone that lives near Farrellsburg or Harts, I would recommend letting them know there could potentially be some strong, severe weather near you. And then this will eventually get close to State Highway 3 and US Highway 119. So if you guys are over there, please watch out for that. People are asking for northern West Virginia. I can show that here real quickly. Realistically speaking, Morgantown and Fairmont are the only areas that are really getting impacted right now. If you're talking about Wheeling or Weirton, you guys are good. You guys are good, honestly. It's just areas in Fairmont University, WVU, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Not really anything tornadic, to be honest with you. It should be fine. That also means that the threat for Pennsylvania is starting to die down just a little bit. We'll look at this one storm here in eastern Kentucky real quickly, and then we will head back to Tennessee. There's this one severe thunderstorm warning here near Boonville, Island City, Turkey, and Talbot. If you're in these areas, definitely watch out for what looks to be just 60 mile per hour wind gusts. It doesn't look like anything is really tornadic with this, though. There was a little bit of rotation near McKee, and it kind of head off towards the Beattyville and the Idame areas. I didn't see anything that said tornado. So should be all right with that for the most part. Yeah, and that does look to be the case. So that's kind of my short little brief update on this one severe thunderstorm. Otherwise, really all the other storms are sub-severe at this time, so not really too crazy. We'll go back to this tornado warning that is southwest of Nashville. I know a lot of you guys are going to be looking at this. I'm going to be looking here. A lot of people are saying Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet is currently seeing a lot of large hail and damaging winds. We're talking about probably up to the size of quarters here, which is severe enough to be able to get a severe thunderstorm warning. And then 60 mile per hour wind gusts, once again, is within the severe parameters as well. So going to want to watch out for the potential of that severe weather. But tornado-wise, you guys are sitting really good. You guys don't really have a whole lot of rotation within this storm. The only storm in Tennessee right now that is tornado warned is at the southwestern side of town, southwestern side of the city, near Franklin. All right, if you are in Franklin, it is recommended you get into your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building, and preferably a sturdy building at that. Real quickly, upstate New York. Upstate New York is fine for right now. Honestly, you guys should be fine for the next couple of days. All right, real quickly, chat. I want to do this. Manage. There we go. August with the 2. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It says much appreciation from Nashville tonight. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate everyone who supported the channel. We have a bunch of likes, a bunch of subscribers. You guys are really helping us out in the channel. And, of course, I feel like this is a very cohesive team, right? We are in turn trying to spread this information with more and more people by trying to boost the YouTube algorithm. And I understand if you guys don't find this as a long-term channel or stuff like that, or even if, this type of content is not even for you. It's not for everyone. But I think there's one consistency that I can say that I have with all the other, whether YouTubers or, say, news corporations, the Weather Channel, if you really want to go that far. We all want to try and help save lives or save people from any sort of, financial damage, property damage, and stuff like that. We want to try and make sure everyone is safe and everyone is fine. And so that's the reason why I do this. I've been doing this for almost 6 years now, one of the longest tenured channels on YouTube, even though we're kind of off and on, and we're going to try and be a lot more consistent over the next couple of years here. But all this stuff here, we all try to do the same exact thing. And you guys are definitely a big help with it. Carrie with the 2, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And then Big T with the 2 says Florence, Alabama can go to bed, right? Yeah, I'd say Florence, Alabama is good. You guys are fine. We'll play the loop here of these storms as it goes through Nashville. And I will also show you guys a full screen of Nashville here. This is a live view. Somewhere out in the distance is supposed to be Nashville. I'm assuming it's these buildings. Earlier we saw the buildings and it had really good visibility. Now I don't know where is what. We're definitely out a while from this. Crazy today and yesterday and the next few days. Happy birthday to you. Wow, that's crazy, Liz. Well, I'm happy you were able to be safe from these storms. And yeah, this is definitely kind of not a nice birthday present from Mother Nature, I'll tell you what. Can Hendersonville, Tennessee go to sleep? It's interesting about this corridor here from Hendersonville to Nashville, even into like Lebanon, all the way down to like Franklin. You guys are going to probably see storm after storm after storm tonight into tomorrow morning. But if there's one thing that I have noticed, it's the coverage in these storms have started to decrease quite substantially. The only real significant storm that I see... What the heck is that? Hold up. Time out. Is that another supercell that's trying to develop south of Middleton? Stop. Stop. SWS Roblox with the tornado tracker. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. What? That's another supercell with another area of rotation south of Middleton? Are you serious? Can northeastern West Virginia go to sleep? Are you talking about, like, Martinsburg? If you're talking about, like, the Eastern Panhandle, yeah, you're good. If you're talking about, like, say, Morgantown, probably also you're good. I mean, a lot of these severe storms don't really seem like they're trying to produce tornadoes. But if you'd like to stay up and wait for these storms to pass by, absolutely feel free. I will be live for a good bit of time here. Is Central Kentucky okay to go to bed? I do believe so. I'm assuming you're talking about areas like, say, Elizabethtown, Lexington. You guys should be able to. Christy, with the 10, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Says, can you please check far northeast Texas? Wait, have the storms started to pop off over there? Oh my goodness gracious, they are. My. Okay, chat. You know what? I think it's that part of the stream where I think we should start to organize our radars. It is something that happens all too often here on this channel where we put up so many radars. And now we're going to try and see if we can keep up. We put that right there. Put that right there. Put that right there. Put that right there. Question mark. Yep. And then right there. And then I think we should just have like a wild card radar. Say that goes over there. All right. Northeastern Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth. So a lot of these storms here are going to start to build up more and more, as you can probably already see here now. Damage threat, considerable severe thunderstorm warnings across the board, likely for golf ball sized hail. And a lot of these storms are going to likely try and do that. Any storm that does end up forming out in this environment here will likely be able to do that across the board. And if we also take a look at the timings of this here in northeastern Texas, you can actually see with timings at the top left-hand portion of your screen that storms will eventually start to really pick up sometime here in around a couple of hours and start to become really significant here at around 8 or 9. The good news is that the folks over in Tyler might actually be spared from a lot of these storms, but folks that may be, southwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, southeast of Abilene, could be a lot of significant storms that form out that could produce some large hail, maybe even the chance for a spin up or two. All right, let's continue to look at chat. Savannah, Tennessee can go to sleep. If you want a 30-minute power nap, go for it. But there's an area that I am watching that is near Walnut, Mississippi right now. It might have some sustainable rotation. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys got some activity. It will be near the Savannah area in about 45 minutes. That's what I will say. And then there's another area of rotation behind it. How long am I going to be live? That I don't actually know myself. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm just going to go live until I feel like I can't anymore. Because I do have to stream tomorrow. But I really do want to make sure that you guys get all the information that you guys can get. Especially with more people coming into the stream. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to ask a bunch of questions. Even if it's the same exact question that I have answered before. I still want to make sure that you guys have a little bit of security when it comes to maybe when you guys could try to go to sleep. This storm here near Hohenwald is still got some rotation on it. I'm curious. Do we have a camera down here in Columbia? We do. We do have a camera in Columbia. I'm not too sure if that is going to actually show us anything. Yeah, we just got our radar Omega cameras that are over there. We'll just keep our Columbia camera there for right now. Star with the 5, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says we are so grateful for the coverage, able to tune in when in our safe places. All the great information about how to protect ourselves. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone in chat. I really do appreciate everyone in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't be surprised, chat, if a new tornado warning gets issued for Lewis County, Maury County, and areas in Hickman County here in Tennessee. Don't be surprised if they pull the trigger. People are asking about Wayne County in West Virginia. Wayne County is good. Corbin, Kentucky, good tonight. Can you go back to sleep? That is a good question. I think there's going to be a lot more severe weather that could try to form, that could try to head to Corbin, but it is a good while away before it gets to that point. We're probably talking like mid-morning. So honestly, I do think Corbin should be fine. I think Corbin can go to bed. Same with like Pineville. Same with like Williamsburg. Once you get up to like London and Mount Vernon, I mean, there's no storms that are anywhere in between Corbin and Monticello right now, or even Somerset for that matter. The only strong thunderstorm that's currently in southern Kentucky is in Jamestown, and that's a pretty far way away. So there is that. Mayfield, good? Yes. You're in a mobile near Cookeville. Cookeville should be fine. Yeah, Morgantown and Fairmont is getting hit right now. A lot of strong damaging winds at this time, though, so you guys should still be all right. Nashville is good to sleep. There's going to be a lot of thunderstorms overnight tonight that's going to move on through into Nashville. But I think, honestly, it looks like it could try to head south of Nashville. So if you're in northern Nashville, if you're like downtown or northern Nashville and you're okay with falling asleep with like thunder and lightning, you should be able to be fine. You should be good.
Tornado warning for southeastern Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, northwestern Rutherford County in Middle Tennessee,
Extension.
northeastern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, southwestern Wilson County in Middle Tennessee.
But on the contrary, Chad, if you are in southeastern portions of Nashville, near Smyrna, Nolensville, LaVergne, we still have our tornado warning here. And we have a second one. It'll pop up here any second now, I promise, chat. There it is. Bellevue, Tennessee. Or Bellevue. Could be Bellevue. I know a couple people have asked that. You guys are on the west side of Nashville. Honestly, you guys are probably good. You guys might be able to even go to sleep tonight. Do tornado warning.
Tornado warning for Lewis County in Middle Tennessee, Maury County in Middle Tennessee, southwestern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee, southeastern Hickman County in Middle Tennessee.
You'll see it here in a second, but that's the tornado warning for Hohenwald. Portland, Tennessee. Can we sleep? Let me take a look. Portland, Tennessee. It looks like you can. Yes, Portland is good. You guys are fine. Sandy Hook, Kentucky. Yeah, you guys can go to sleep. You guys are fine. Antioch. I'm assuming that's Antioch, Tennessee. And if it's... yeah, that's the Nashville area. Nashville, Antioch in particular, is definitely going to want to continue to watch out for some severe weather here, as a new tornado warning did just get issued, technically, for this area. I think these storms could potentially move just to the south of you, though. So you guys should be all right to an extent. Mount Juliet is probably hearing some sirens, but you guys are pretty much on the edge of this tornado warning. Like, look at this here. This is Mount Juliet right here, and this is the edge of the box. Like, if this box was moved probably, I don't know, less than a mile south, there's a good chance that Mount Juliet may have not gotten sirens. And who knows, they might have even got sirens regardless because it's the same county. But Mount Juliet, I think you guys are a little too far north. I think you guys should be fine. Should be good. East Tennessee is good, right? Yes. East Tennessee is good. Oof. Chat, we're going to be up for a while again. Ah. All right. Well, that is a strong area of rotation to the west of Hampshire. or Hampshire. Also to the west of Mount Pleasant. This is some pretty strong rotation here. This is well off to the south and west of Nashville. So Nashville, this is not discussion for you right now. All right, this is more a discussion for Columbia and Spring Hill and Hampshire and Mount Pleasant here. There is some pretty strong rotation. I see 50 mile per hour velocity, inbound velocities on top of 101. That's a 150 mile per hour delta velocity. That's how fast the rotation is within this particular storm. So we definitely have a well-defined area of rotation. If this thing were to put down a tornado, it'd be very close to Hampshire. If you're in this area, need to get into your safe space if you haven't already. Lowest, innermost part of your building. Sirens are going off in Mount Juliet again. As I said, you guys are on the outside, right on the border of the tornado warning. I think the rotation is going to be heading to the south of you guys, so you should be good. Nashville is definitely good. If you're in downtown Nashville, honestly, it'll be cutting it close, but I think you guys can go to bed. You'll hear a lot of thunder and lightning. Any rotation in Franklin, Tennessee, it would be just to the east of you guys if there was one. Right now, Franklin is in the clear. This tornadic thunderstorm has passed. Ashland, Kentucky, good? Yes, Ashland is fine. Storms have already passed you guys already. Spring Hill, Tennessee. So these storms here, this particular storm that is just to the east of Hohenwald, could potentially get very close to Spring Hill here. And this thing does have some pretty strong rotation with it. For reference here, chat, if we look at the normalized rotation, this quantifies how strong the rotation is according to the radar. On our scale, I want you guys to pay attention to that black line that I just drew right there on the left side. Pay attention to that black line and up. You can see that this rotation here, just to the east of Hohenwald and to the west of Hampshire. Well, I'll let this interrupt me real quick.
Tornado warning for southwestern Kanawha County in central West Virginia.
What? That's
southeastern
Charleston.
Lincoln County in central West Virginia. Northern Logan County in southern West Virginia. Northern Boone County in central West Virginia.
If you live in those areas, seek a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. Get in the lowest, innermost part of your building if you can. As I was saying, the scale, it starts to get pretty high. We're pretty much the second highest part of the scale here, and that's in the reds, which is north and east of Hohenwald. The previous scans were not like that. The previous scans were in the blues and greens, and we're starting to increase into the yellows. Once again, we are now into the reds here as we get into areas near Hampshire. So if you are near Hampshire, as well as areas near Duck River and areas to the west of Columbia here in Tennessee, you need to get in your safe space. Lowest, innermost part of your building if you can. Let's take a look here at that new tornado warning that is near Charleston, West Virginia. That's actually south of Charleston, West Virginia. It's an extension of the old tornado warning. And it does have a little bit of rotation, just a little bit of it. But you can see here we have a lot of bright greens that are surging in front of the storm. And we have some grays that are kind of lagging behind. So this is where our counterclockwise spin is at. That's where the rotation would be. And that'll head towards Ridgeview, Racine, as well as Madison. And then eventually areas near the I-64 corridor. So please watch out if you're over in those areas. It doesn't look super significant at this time, though, but we do have just a little bit of rotation here to the north of Madison. As I said, greens towards, reds away, right over U.S. Highway 119 is where that area of interest is located. Let's go back to Nashville here. Go north of Charleston, West Virginia. I'll go back here in a second, actually. I'll go there now. North of Charleston. There are a couple areas of spin-ups that are possible near Millstone, Rosedale, Glenville, And Tanner, if you're in these areas, please watch out for the potential of some strong damaging winds and maybe even, you know, some spin-up tornadoes. So please watch out if you haven't already. April with the 50. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says, thank you, Nate. You're a good man and friend. I appreciate you being here for as long as you have, April. I'm not sure how you're able to deal with me. I'm going to be honest with you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys. Thank you, chat, once again for being here. People are asking about Thompson Station. I'm assuming this is near Nashville to an extent. It's actually south of Nashville. And it's south of Franklin. Okay. So we'll go back over here to the Nashville radar. First off, by the way, the storm near Hampshire still needs to be watched out for. This is still looking like a significant storm that could impact a lot of people in the middle of the night. Columbia, if you know anyone that lives near Columbia, Tennessee, really need to watch out. Thompson Station, on the other hand, I don't see a whole lot with you guys. I see a lot of hail. Maybe actually not a lot of hail. Some damaging winds. Nothing really anything significant, to be honest with you. I do see a little bit of rotation here near La Verge, though. The La Verge area. La Verge. Huh. There is a little bit of rotation here. You can definitely see a lot of the reds that are trying to surge away from the radar. And the makeshift greens that are trying to combine. There's a lot of convergence here. A lot of damaging winds that are going to approach the La Verge area, actually. If this continues, we could potentially see some more damaging winds heading towards the Rural Hill and the Gladeville area. So don't be surprised if strong damaging winds occur near you guys. Don't be surprised at all. 17 likes away from 1,000. Are you guys kidding me? You guys have been going off. I hope you guys know, by the way, that every single like actually helps contribute to us being able to promote our live stream onto the YouTube algorithm and hopefully get into the recommended feeds of some people who are actually in the path of these storms. So every single time you guys are doing that, you guys help us out. The G is silent. Cool. So it's like Laverne. Is that how it's pronounced? I think that sounds right. Gallatin, yes, you can go to sleep. Hurricane West Virginia around Putnam, good? Yeah, hurricane should be fine. I think the storms have already passed you guys. Yeah, you're good. Storms have passed you. They're all the way over in Charleston now. Got it, got it. See, teamwork, chat. We're getting there. So, Laverne. Is Franklin in the clear? From this immediate tornadic thunderstorm, yes. But there's another one right behind it that we'll have to watch out. It should get into the Franklin area here within the next half an hour. Can Nashville sleep? If you're in downtown Nashville, yes. If you're in northern Nashville, yes. Western Nashville, yes. If you're south of Nashville, near like the Brentwood, the Nolensville, I would include Franklin, honestly. Smyrna, I would stay up just for a little bit longer. Laverne's going to be probably seeing some strong damaging winds and some large hail. Maybe the north side of Laverne could probably see it. Continue to stay indoors, stay away from windows. There is the potential for maybe a spin-up tornado that's possible. I'm watching that very closely. Once again, lowest innermost part of your building if you would like to try and stay safe from these strong thunderstorms that could try to become tornadic. The good news with this storm near Hampshire is that the rotation has kind of leveled off just a little bit, and we've gotten a bit more broad. I don't see a debris signature from what I can tell. But we still have some strong rotation. So if you're west of Columbia, Tennessee, near Hampshire and Duck River, you need to get in your safe space. If you're also north of Columbia, to some extent, like Spring Hill, Thompson Station, and Theta, I would watch this storm very, very closely. Mount Pleasant, though, you guys are good. This storm's not going to impact you. You guys should be fine. So I have some good news for the folks that might be in Savannah. For right now, it looks like the rotation looks like it is kind of deteriorating a little bit. The problem is it hasn't done it completely. And that's not good enough for me. I needed to go away completely. I've seen too many storms that have faked dying and then come back out of nowhere to produce a tornado this evening that I'm just not. Coach with the 2, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says traffic alert. Wow. 440 and 65 south already flooding. Wow. You know, and that's going to be a major risk over the next couple of days, unfortunately. The ground's going to get saturated overnight here tonight, which means flooding is already going to be a concern here this evening into tomorrow morning. But there's going to be even more rain that's going to be coming up here. And I want to show you guys the outlooks of severe weather over the next couple of days, because I think it's important for you guys to know and understand. Here's the risk for severe weather for Thursday. This is today, technically now. And the risk for severe weather extends from the mid-Atlantic all the way down into central portions of Texas. But notice how these thunderstorms are going to be going over areas that we have pretty much already seen impacted, right? So flooding is definitely possible across some of these areas. And look at this. You see this yellow area and then this black circle with like these black hashes that go through the middle? This is where strong tornadoes can be possible here for Thursday. So we will be live covering this event and those storms as they move on through. But wait, we also have Friday. And fortunately for the folks in Nashville, it doesn't look like you guys are going to be getting as much of activity as you're going to be getting tonight and tomorrow. Well, technically here into Thursday. But there is still the potential for some strong severe weather with a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale over Arkansas. They're still seeing rain. And look at this. They still could potentially be seeing some significant tornadoes. So this is 3 days in a row of Arkansas seeing some significant activity. And honestly, it might not be done. This is Saturday here, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday, the risk of severe weather, it starts to creep back further to the east. Folks in Nashville, folks in Kentucky, folks in the Deep South and the Ozarks, especially down over here. Some strong severe weather is definitely possible here. And some significant severe weather is also possible down here too. So, more of a flooding risk. And then, finally, it'll move off to the south and east. We'll finally see maybe a little bit of relief here. And maybe some calm weather next week. Is that so hard to ask? Chat, if you're done with all this significant weather for the night and just want things to just calm down, put the number 1 in the chat. Nitwad, I don't know how to pronounce that town name or that profile name. I apologize, but thank you so much for the 5. It says Antioch and Brentwood area, Davidson County. Yes, I will cover that here right now. Here we go. Thank you so much for the 5. Once again, I really do appreciate it. I need to refresh my side page here real quickly. There we go. Okay, so Brentwood in itself is doing pretty well. All right. These storms are heading well off to the south of you. And then Antioch Antioch is in the path of a lot of these severe storms. I would continue to be mindful and weather aware. But Brentwood's definitely in a better situation. Any news about Mount Juliet? My news on Mount Juliet is the storm is passing to the south of you, and you guys are doing pretty well. Clarksville, Tennessee, okay for a bit. You guys are okay for a lot of bit. Clarksville, Tennessee, you're just going to be seeing a lot of rain tonight, so be aware of some flash flooding risks. Otherwise, it should be fine. Vixel with the 2 says, how is Hermitage, Mount Juliet area looking? Yeah, these storms are heading to the south of Mount Juliet. So you guys should be good in that regard there. Thank you for the 2, though. I really do appreciate it. Oh, look where Hermitage is. Hermitage. I'll tell you what, by the time I'm done with this stream, I might know the majority of these local communities here in Nashville, these local towns. Davidson County, if you are in southeastern portions of Davidson County, you're seeing some severe weather. But if you're in Nashville, or if you're even north of Nashville, even up to as far north, this isn't Davidson County, but Millersville, Hendersonville, you guys are good. Honestly, you guys are doing really well. Let's see. Lebanon still seeing some thunderstorms and some spotty hail. Maybe some localized damaging winds too. Looks like our stronger winds are moving through Laverne, or it actually has already done so, and that's a new tornado warning.
Tornado warning for western Callahan County in west central Texas, southeastern Taylor County in west central Texas.
It what? You what? Well, tornado warning Texas. If you live over here in Baird, Clyde, and Lawn here in Texas, you've got a tornado warning. It's southeast of Abilene. So, yeah, that is a new something from IEMBot. What that new something is, I have no idea. Mesoscale discussion concerning Tornado Watch. Shall we read? And then we'll talk more about what's happening in Nashville. Tornado risk may persist across portions of northern Mississippi into middle Tennessee for another few hours. A local watch extension may be needed. Occasionally, intense cells exhibiting moderate rotation continue along the stalled surface boundary from northern Mississippi into middle Tennessee early this morning. Narrow cape, narrow instability, favorable shear. Tornado/severe potential could persist for a few more hours. Local extension to the watch may be needed, so the tornado watch might actually last longer than what it was originally forecasted to end. So, that's kind of interesting. Well, the good news about our interesting storm over here that was north of Hampshire, we don't see any more yellows on it. This is our significant, or not that. It's our normalized rotation. It quantifies how strong the rotation was. Our scale on the left-hand side, the higher you go up, the stronger the rotation it was. We were at a red, and now we're at a green. And that is way better than what it was. Seems how the scale bottoms out at like here. So, definitely some really good trends. Definitely some really good trends. Hopefully it stays that way. Laverne is about to be done with that strong damaging wind gust. So things should start to calm down for you guys a little bit. But there are going to be some more storms that are going to be near your area here. I'd say in about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit less than that. But yeah, there was a lot of strong damaging winds near Laverne. Maybe even some spotty hail just now. Maybe even a lot of hail right now. If you're in Laverne or in Smyrna or in Gladeville or even near the Speedway, it might just be a good idea for you to just not go outside. Don't be near any windows either. Tornado warning has now been canceled, chat. Actually, it's not even just canceled. It expired. There is only one tornado warning in Tennessee, and it is not this storm that just went near Smyrna. It is not this storm that is heading near Lebanon. It is only just this one storm that is northwest of Columbia. If you're in Hendersonville or Gallatin or in downtown Nashville, you can go to sleep. You're fine. Where am I located? I'm located in southern Pennsylvania. Currently working on my meteorology degree out of Penn State. Thinking about transferring, though. Can I check Hermitage? Hermitage is definitely going to want to watch out for the potential of... Well, actually, they don't even have to watch out anymore. The storm's past you guys, from the looks of it. So for reference here, chat, this right here is Nashville. This is Nashville right here. This is Mount Juliet, Rural Hill, Smyrna, Brentwood, and Franklin. So the storm has started to move further and further away from the area, which is good. Donna with the 5, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says, how does Tullahoma, Tennessee look over the next 24 hours? Kiddos are heading to school in a couple of hours. I got you. First off, gotta look up where Tullahoma, Tennessee. Ooh, this is really far to the south and east. I think you guys might actually be good here for this morning. For later on, I'll quickly look over this here, chat, so just give me a second. If you guys want to follow along, this is actually the timings of all of these storms here in Kentucky and Tennessee. So if you would like to follow along, right there is the timing. I have for the next 18 hours storms that are just going to basically sit over that area. Wow. I'll tell you what, the potential for some severe weather is going to start ramping up here at around noon to 1 p.m. for western Tennessee again. And potentially even for central and east central Kentucky as well. 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Some storms could head into West Virginia as well. There's also some more storms that begin to form down here. But the one thing I noticed here is that Tullahoma, I don't think I've seen a single thunderstorm for you guys throughout this entire run, heading to around 9 p.m. tonight. So that's very interesting. Can Mount Juliet go to sleep? Honestly, I think now, since these storms are tracking to the south of you, realize that there's going to be a lot of thunder and lightning that you will probably hear. Well, you can't hear lightning, but you can hear thunder. I do think that you guys are getting in a better situation. You know what? That is a valid point. Lacey, I accept your offer. You and April can work together. Memphis, you're done. You're good. Albany, Kentucky. That sounds very familiar, but I'm going to look it up. Albany, Kentucky is where? Oh, that's southern Kentucky. Oh, you're currently getting a thunderstorm. It doesn't look super tornadic at this time, but you're definitely getting something near your area. So I would watch. Olive Branch is good. You're going to get some thunderstorms overnight tonight. Spring Hill, you're in the path of these thunderstorms here eventually. I'll move this back to this here. Okay, Albany, I would watch out. I just found this here near Moss, heading towards Salina and Vernon. Little bit of rotation here, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. If this thing does intensify, we could watch out for the potential of maybe some tornadic activity. We'll watch out, though. Charleston, West Virginia. So fortunately, with a lot of those tornadic thunderstorms, they have head down to the south of you. So you guys are good. Charleston is fine. And really, you guys are probably going to see some more thunderstorms throughout the duration of the day. But it's not too crazy right now. Can I please check Garrett County, Maryland? Isn't Garrett County like Cumberland? No, it's west of Cumberland. Garrett County is just going to get a lot of just thunderstorms tonight. I don't think it'll be too significant. And the only reason why I know Garrett County is because the Mid-Atlantic is pretty much my home. I lived in Berkeley County for the longest part of my life, and then I moved somewhere else. But yeah, Garrett County, there's not really too much. There's a thunderstorm. You're good. Columbia, Tennessee. Good question. It brings us back to our main storm over here that currently isn't a tornado warning. So Columbia is good from this tornado warning storm. You guys are fine. Spring Hill and Thompson Station. This storm still has the potential to try and produce a tornado. So if you're near Spring Hill and Thompson Station, don't be surprised if you get a tornado warning. And if you do, you're going to want to continue to stay in your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building, and stay away from windows. If you can get into a sturdy building, that would be the best. Thanks, Salty Beat. I'm trying to skim through chat as much as I possibly can and get the most consensus answers from a lot of people. Because there's a lot of new people that are coming into the chat and asking about things. And then there's a lot of new people that come in and ask about the same things. It's fine. You know? Like, if I can try and give a little bit of ease to some people, it's worth it. It's fine. Anything touchdown near Athens or Gloucester, Ohio earlier? Near Athens? Is that like... Is that Columbus? No, it's not. Oh, that's the Ohio University. I don't think so. From the looks of it, it was just to the south and west of it. I don't even think it's even touched the ground. Should be fine. So, should be fine. Should be fine. I think it's good. I'll work on it here in a bit. SWS Roblox. I probably won't be able to get... I probably won't be able to get the applications up and running as soon as possible, but... Columbia, Tennessee, okay for now? For now. Yes. Memphis is good, by the way, chat. Just a flash flood warning over there. Turn around, don't drown, don't drive in a flooded roadway. It's a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and that's pretty much it. Tornado near Lawn, Texas. Did it actually spawn? Did it actually do the funny? See, out in Texas, there's not really much to hit. So any debris that needs, that gets kicked up is usually telling us that there's a pretty strong tornado. In this case, I don't think there is a tornado that was over in this area. But still, if you're in Baird in Texas and Callahan County, need to get in your safe space if you haven't already. Jason with the 2, thank you so much, says Paintsville, Kentucky. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Paintsville. So Hermitage can sleep. I'll answer that here in a second. That is a new tornado warning. Probably an extension.
Tornado warning for West Central Nicholas County in southeastern West Virginia, southeastern Kanawha County in central West Virginia, south central Clay County in north central West Virginia, northwestern Fayette County in southeastern West Virginia.
Technically, I'm not wrong, but that's not what I expected. All right, Paintsville. I believe you guys should be all right, to be honest with you. There's going to be a stronger thunderstorm that's going to be moving off near your area in the next 15 minutes. I don't really see anything super significant with it. There might be a little bit of rotation, but I don't think it'll be too substantial. If something does happen, though, I will still be here by the time that storm hits you, so should be good on that front. Thank you so much for the 2. I really do appreciate it, though. Can I look at Columbia and Spring Hill, Tennessee tornado warning? I can. I would actually prefer if I did. I don't see anything that tells me that a tornado is in progress right now. But I do think this should still be something that we should watch out for. Do we have a live camera here in Spring Hill? No, we don't. I thought we did. No, we don't. We do have traffic cameras, but traffic cameras are a little inconsistent. All right, let's pull up Hermitage. We did say we would. Hermitage. I feel like I'm going to remember it somehow. All right. That's right. Next to Mount Juliet. Hermitage and Mount Juliet. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. You probably can.
Tornado warning for northeastern Maury County in Middle Tennessee, southern Williamson County in Middle Tennessee.
Extension. So they put a new tornado warning for Spring Hill. Spring Hill and Thompson Station, if you're in that area, get in your safe space. Lowest, innermost part of your building. That's right. Oh my goodness. We do have, real quickly, chat. Commands, new command, Discord. Create. There we go. All right, now the exclamation point Discord command works for moderators. Update. There we go. Exclamation point Discord now works. Yeah, I'm still standing somehow. I still got a live stream later on today. Yeesh. Scottsville, Kentucky. Yeah, I'll take a look. Exclamation point Discord works for mods. Mods only, unfortunately. Can we do an exclamation sub? 1, 2? Maybe after the stream. Because as I said, I don't want to force people to subscribe. At the same time, you know, there's something about self-promoting, you know, stuff about, like, merch and, you know, like saying, hey, you know, support and donate and stuff like that when there's a tornado warning ongoing. I don't know. It just doesn't sit, you know, never has sit well with me. Ever. But I will do an exclamation point sub command at the end of the stream for the mods. Scottsville, I do think there could be some storms that can move out over there. Chat's starting to get the reference of what I said there. There you go. I knew you guys would do it. Scottsville is good in Kentucky. You guys are fine. Albany, Kentucky, I believe you guys are good to an extent. There's still that area of rotation that I'm watching for, so you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. But for right now, you guys are good. What kind of rotation are we looking at in Spring Hill? The decent type, I'll be honest with you. It was a lot stronger before when it was near Hampshire. It was a lot stronger. And now it's okay. It's not bad. What about Culloden? Culloden, Tennessee, I'm assuming. Culloden Cove, Memphis? No. If it's in Memphis, it's fine. Culloden Drive, Kentucky? No. West Virginia, I'm assuming. Yeah, West Virginia, that's hurricane. Yeah, you guys are fine. Storms are past you. Latest update shows there is something to the west of Spring Hill, but nothing that is on the ground. This is definitely one of your classic supercells here. Rain that's been wrapping around in a hook-like fashion. Is that Spring Hill front coming to Chapel Hill? You know, no. I think Chapel Hill is a little too far southeast. The storm is moving northeast. So here's the we'll play the loop here real quick. Jace with the 10, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It says tornado randomly dropped in Selmer in McNairy County. Can I look over there? Was that earlier on today? Because there were like 2 tornadoes that hit Selmer. If not, just only the one big one. But Selmer's good for right now. Selmer is definitely good. Savannah, I'm going to be honest with you. This storm does not look crazy. You can go to sleep. If you're in Savannah and Selmer and Waynesboro, you're fine. You can go to sleep. You can get some shut-eye. But thank you so much, Jace. I really do appreciate the 10. You live in Spring Hill. It's looking bad. Well, just continue to stay indoors. Stay away from windows if you can. Lowest innermost part of your building. If you have to, if you have a couch in the middle of the house, might be a good place to hide out there. Just sit on the couch for now. Yeah, funny enough, chat, we have been live for a good portion of the day today. We've caught pretty much every single significant bit of activity, and we had a stream earlier that went out for 11 hours and 30 minutes, and we caught the very beginning of what was the significant Lake City tornado. Very much so could be EF3+. over there had some of the craziest video. Honestly, go on to Twitter and just search up Lake City tornado, or go on to Blue Sky, or go on to YouTube. Brandon Kopic had probably one of the craziest close intercepts ever, at least for this year. And we caught it at the very beginning. We caught it at the very beginning on traffic cameras. This was before the storm chasers actually saw it was on the ground. So that was pretty cool. Does Spring Hill, Tennessee have a debris signature? I don't think so. What is the event like today? Pretty similar, honestly, to what we've had today, with the exception of how intense it is. Just a lot of storms that are going to ride this boundary. So basically, here, let me tell it straight. I'm going to turn off all these warnings. So don't think that the tornado warnings have gone away. But see this area of storms? I'm going to play the loop. And notice how the storms haven't really moved all too much when we're looking from an east and west perspective. Sure, they've moved far off to the north and east. But if we're looking from east and west, they haven't really moved. And this can cause a bit of a flooding risk, especially across areas that are getting a lot of that heavy thunderstorms. This is eventually going to transition over into portions of Arkansas as well. And central and southern Arkansas could practically see the same thing, except a lot of these storms could be severe in nature and could probably produce tornadoes as well. But that's this afternoon, so. All right, let's look at Spring Hill. We're being asked if it has a debris signature. My answer is no, and I have a couple of reasons why. First off, if we outline the inflow notch and we compare it to reflectivity and velocity, you can see we have a pretty strong velocity signature here to the west of Spring Hill. So we do have some strong winds. If we go to the correlation coefficient, however, it looks like it did just update. So let's fix that again. So outline the inflow notch and go to the correlation coefficient. Everything that is in this blue has low reflectivity, which means the radar's not picking up that much stuff. Debris needs to be stuff. And so when you have no stuff, you have no debris. You want to be able to try and correlate it between the velocities, the reflectivity, and the correlation coefficient to be able to get that information. Jane Doe with the 5, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It says thank you for staying live, especially for watching Northeastern Kentucky and Ashland. Well, I appreciate the $5 super chat. It really does mean a lot. As I said, thank you. I appreciate you for sticking with us. Franklin could go to sleep, honestly, but you will get some storms that will move on through in about 2 hours. Again, there's just going to be a lot of storms that you're going to be seeing over the span of today. But I think Franklin should be all right for right now. Kanawha, West Virginia, that's what, Charleston, I believe. That is, Kanawha is all right. Really, the only area of tornadic activity, or really just activity in general, is starting to head into Fayette County and Nicholas County. So Belva, Gawley Bridge, Montgomery. There's still a little bit of rotation with that storm too. Only a little bit. I don't see really anything on the ground though. But that's good in that regard. You live in East Spring Hill, Tennessee. Should you stay in your safe space? Yes.
Tornado warning for northeastern Wayne County in south-central Kentucky, southern Pulaski County in south-central Kentucky, northeastern McCreary County in south-central Kentucky.
You know, it's not exactly the storm I expected either, especially since it's out in the middle of nowhere. But it does have some rotation near Steubenville, so if you're near Steubenville, if you're near Burnside or Hargis here in Kentucky, you need to get into your safe space. Lowest, innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as you can. And yeah, this is definitely starting to pick up a little teeny bit with its rotation. You can see the greens have gotten a little bit brighter over the past couple of scans. And that just basically means the winds moving towards the radar have gotten stronger. Winds moving away is still about the same. And you still have that rotation, which is located near State Highway 90 northeast of Steubenville. Detective with the 5, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate all of your guys' support here this evening and this early morning. Is Corbin good? The storm should head to the north of Corbin, to be honest with you. So Corbin should be fine from this particular tornado warning. How is Abilene, Texas looking? That's a question I didn't expect to have on this stream, but it's a valid question. There's going to be a lot of storms over the span of this morning for you all, and some of which could probably produce golf ball sized hail. So if you're going to work, make sure you have a way to cover your car under some form of like carport or garage. Because if a storm does go over your area and produce golf ball sized hail, there's a good chance that you'll have a lot of dents and maybe some cracks in your windshield. You're in Spring Hill. Is there a tornado on the ground? Not as of this time right now, fortunately. Still a lot of rotation here, but there doesn't seem to be anything on the ground right now. Continue to stay indoors and stay away from windows, the lowest innermost part of your building if you're in Spring Hill. Once again, tornado warning for your area as well as in Thompson Station. Thompson Station is actually getting a lot of strong damaging winds and hail, but there's also a little area of rotation that could be approaching your area here very soon. So continue to stay in your safe space, lowest innermost part of your building in Thompson Station or in Spring Hill. And this is going to be approaching the intersection of 840 and 65.
Tornado warning for Callahan County in west central Texas.
Well, that's a new tornado warning over there. We'll look at that here in a bit. Super Kick with the 2. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It says, Columbia, Tennessee, safe to go to bed yet? Yeah, I would say so. This storm that's going to approach it here near Mount Pleasant isn't really looking too crazy. It has a little bit of rotation, but this storm is pretty weak overall. And this other storm that's near Savannah hasn't been doing anything over the past hour or so. So I think Columbia should be able to go to bed. You guys will see some more thunderstorms and more severe weather later on in the late morning into the early afternoon. So watch out for that if you can. Let's go back to Nashville here specifically. I want to reiterate one more time here. All right. Downtown Nashville, Mount Juliet, Brentwood, Forest Hills, Rural Hill, Laverne. Right now, you guys are out of the risk. And honestly, if you're in Mount Juliet, Lakewood, Hendersonville, Nashville, Forest Hills, and Brentwood, you guys can go to sleep. You guys can honestly go to sleep. I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you're in Franklin, you're going to hear a lot of thunder and lightning over the next probably 15, 20 minutes, but you guys can go to sleep. Storm is passing to the south of you. Lebanon, you just got done dealing with this storm. This severe storm that's producing golf ball sized hail. How crazy is that? If you're near Rome or Carthage, expect that golf ball sized hail to continue to move off near you here soon. The Spring Hill, Tennessee storm is not on the ground. I do not see a tornado in progress at this time. I do see an area where there could potentially be a tornado here soon, though. It is this area right here. We have some greens moving towards the radar, reds moving away. It's right about here, about to cross over US Highway 31. I would not be surprised if there was a tornado that was over near Thompson Station, as well as areas near the intersection of Interstate 65 and 840. What do I think about Smyrna? I think Smyrna could see a lot of wind and hail from this storm in Spring Hill. I don't think it'll be directly impacted by the tornado, but we'll have to see if this deviates in motion. What about Monticello, Kentucky? Monticello is past the tornado warning now. The storm is actually past you guys. So Monticello is fine from the immediate storm. There's another one that's just to the west of Albany that's severe warned. That will more than likely head near you here. We're talking in the next 25 minutes-ish, give or take. But I'm not too sure if this would probably be doing a whole lot to you. I don't think... It looks like it's weakened a lot over the span of recent frames. The area of rotation near Thompson Station and Spring Hill has started to weaken a lot more. Gotten all the way down to the blues. North Corbin, are we talking about in like Kentucky? Like almost near Laurel, or not Laurel, near London? Because I do think London could see some severe weather, and areas north of Corbin could potentially see some stuff. Somerset, you're seeing a lot of thunder and lightning, but the storm is not directly impacting you. It's actually going to be impacting more the Burnside area. Still some strong rotation here with the storm, though. I'll tell you what, if you're in Burnside and Hargis, you need to get in your safe space here in Kentucky. Lowest innermost part of your building. How about Texas? There's also a tornado warning near Abilene, Texas as well. I did see that. I'll look at that here in a second. I just wanted to check on this storm here south of Somerset, because this is a tornado warning, and it does have some pretty good rotation with it. This is actually a lot stronger than what's happening in Tennessee right now. There's the other storm back behind it near Albany. And it's very similar in nature with how there is rotation with this. But that's pretty broad. Did this end up producing a tornado at any point in its life? I don't think so. Excuse me. All right, tornado warning over here for Callahan County in Texas. It looks pretty elevated. A lot of rotation is well above the surface. If there is any tornadoes within this storm, it would be near the Putnam and the Dothan area as well as Cisco. But they would be like quick spin-ups. Nothing that's sustained for a long while. Hohenwald, Tennessee. I'll check that area here. So, there are going to be some storms that move off near you in like 45 minutes. But these storms might not be super significant, to be honest with you. So, you guys should be fine if you wanted to go to sleep. Just make sure you have a way in case if there's any sort of warnings that get issued, whether it's with this storm or other storms. Make sure you're able to get them. Paintsville. Paintsville, Kentucky. Oh, that's like... Gotcha. Paintsville should be fine. They just had a storm. It should be okay now. Murfreesboro, you should be fine. Wilson County? Are we talking like Wilson County? Oh, Tennessee. Fayette County, by the way, it's really northern Fayette County, near like Belva, Anstead, and that'd be Gauldy Bridge. If you're like south of that, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. We're going back to Nashville's radar. Wilson County, there's just a lot of strong thunderstorms here in this general area. So I would watch out for just some damaging winds and hail. I think there is the potential for southern Wilson County to potentially see another round of severe weather. There's also an interesting area of rotation south of Carthage here and west of Chestnut Mound near Gordonsville. There is a little bit of rotation here, just a little bit, but there is some. Columbia good to sleep? I would say so. I would say you should be fine. Yeah, Murfreesboro, it looks like this storm may be heading off just a little bit to the north of you, so you guys might barely miss it, but I think you guys should be all right. I think you guys should be all right. White Bluff, Tennessee? That's a good question. By the way, chat, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm keeping up with chat and I'm able to try and get almost everyone's town locations because there's a lot of people in chat. And kudos to you all for sticking with us here. I appreciate you guys being here and being some supportive folks. So thank you much. Thank you much on that. White Bluff, you're getting a lot of just strong, damaging winds. Well, not even severe. It'll just be damaging winds, if anything, because the rain has dampened the ground and trees might fall over. Parker with the 10. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the support. Really does mean a lot. Spring Hill, south of Nashville. Spring Hill is now out of the immediate threat of this tornado-warned storm. The tornado-warned storm has now head off along 840, I-840. It will likely head just to the north of Murfreesboro towards the Walter Hill general vicinity. We all clear in Clarksville? Yes, you're good. Sleep time for you in Clarksville. Thoughts on Bowling Green, Kentucky in the future? Flooding risk over the next couple of days. Definitely watch out. That's probably the significant threat for you all compared to all the severe weather. Hendersonville, Tennessee, you guys are good. Sleep. Franklin is north of this storm. You guys should be fine. You're actually on the outside of this tornado warning, so you guys should be okay. Columbia should be able to go to sleep tonight. There's going to be a few more thunderstorms that are going to move on through, but from the looks of it and based off of trends, they don't seem to be too significant. Tornado watch issued for Paintsville, Kentucky again. A new tornado watch? Or a new tornado warning? Oh, they expanded the tornado watch. That's what they did. They expanded the tornado watch east to include areas like Hindman and Prestonburg. Did they also update it as to when it expires? I can't tell. Cookeville should be all right for the most part. Boone County, West Virginia, all clear now? That's a good question. I do want to check over there. You do have a severe thunderstorm that's going to be moving into the northern portions of Boone County. But honestly, I don't foresee this being super strong or super significant. So I would say for right now, you're in the all clear. You could potentially see some more severe weather later on this morning, though. Isaiah with the 10, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Yeah, April, I'll try and do the I'll do it maybe for, well, kind of want to do it at the end of the stream. I'm not too sure though. New tornado warning.
Tornado warning for Central Clinton County in South Central Kentucky.
Of course. It's this one storm that I was watching over near Albany. But the good news is the rotation is north of Albany, so Albany is good. You guys are fine. It's Cumberland City. Cumberland City is the area to watch, and this rotation actually has intensified over the past few scans. One thing I will say, this right here, not legit. Why I say so, this is contamination. This is absolutely some contamination. And I can tell why, because there is some missing values right in the middle of our spectrum width. This is where turbulence is at. Tornadoes, I'm sure you guys can tell, can cause turbulence. So when you have none, something is typically wrong. And that's indeed the case. So we do have rotation here. Don't get me wrong. Cumberland City needs to get in their safe space. And that is a new tornado warning for Monticello.
Tornado warning for Central Wayne County in South Central Kentucky, Southwestern Pulaski County in South Central Kentucky.
I'm glad we're both on that same understanding, April. We both think alike in that sense. But yeah, this is a new tornado warning. It looks like it's going to head more towards the Steubenville area and just barely to the north of Monticello. But if you're near Monticello, you should be getting in your safe space as well, lowest innermost part of your building. People are asking about Murfreesboro. I want to check that here real quickly for you all. As this storm is getting really close. This tornado warning storm here that is just to the east of Spring Hill. It looks like the actual rotation in itself is just going to miss Murfreesboro to the north by a bit. Should Thompson Station wait a little bit longer? Honestly, no. I think Thompson Station, you're still going to get some thunder and lightning and stuff like that. Maybe some, weaker gusts compared to what you just had. But Thompson Station and Spring Hill, you guys are good to get out of your safe space. You should be fine. They issued a new severe thunderstorm warning on this tornado warning. I don't think they're going to issue a new tornado warning on this. They have a tornado possible tag. Yeah, they have no intention to issue a tornado warning on this supercell. They're going to allow this to expire in 2 minutes. Is this going to end? Unfortunately, over the next 2 or 3 days, it might not. There's going to be a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and more rain. Genuinely, it is... There's a pretty big flooding risk. Let me show you all here with the models. And then we'll get back to telling people whether they can sleep or not and what's happening with the storms. So look at this here, chat. All right, I'm going to tell you when these storms are moving on through. Right now, this is Thursday morning, Thursday late morning, early afternoon. And look at this. You get another train of storms that start to move on through. Early evening. Early evening. Significant storms over here in portions of Arkansas and southwestern Tennessee, as well as into eastern Kentucky. And it's just going to continue over and over again with more storms there. We might get a little bit of a break Friday morning, chat. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's there, though. And then Friday comes in, and then... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Looks like we're seeing some intense activity here in eastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas, as well as western Arkansas on Friday. Oh, boy. Stuff starts to fire off, though, sometime around 2 in the afternoon, Central Time. And then, once again, the conga line of storms just continues to just build and build and build. So yes, chat, it is the song that never ends. Cookeville, Tennessee. That storm in particular is going to be heading to the north of you. Cookeville should be fine, although there is some pretty decent rotation here that's been building. It's been building over the past, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And fortunately, it still has not put down a tornado yet. So the hope is that that'll continue. But we'll wait for conditions to change if it does. Smyrna. It does look like you guys may be able to sleep. But there is some rotation that could head south of you if you're just barely south of Smyrna. Like, say, that looks to be a mall. If you're near the mall or if you're south of the mall, I would watch out very closely. Lebanon, you guys are good. Sleep. You're good. Can I check Albany, Kentucky? We have tornado sirens? Absolutely. So Albany, the storm in question, the rotation is actually northeast of you. So Albany is good. Albany is actually fine. And the reason why I can say that the rotation's northeast of you, this is the velocities. The reds are winds that are moving away from the radar. The greens are moving towards. Anywhere where you can find some strong counterclockwise spin, especially on radar, is usually where a tornado could potentially be at. Not always is it when it happens, but most of the time. That's where the rotation is currently at right now. It's just to the east of Cumberland City. It is due west of Monticello right now, but it is definitely not near Albany. Albany in itself, you're good. Seeing quite a bit of Franklin, Tennessee's here. Franklin, honestly, you guys are good. You can go to sleep. You're good. Man, chat, I really do think we could get a spin up here. Or at least it's possible. As a Nissan plant? Okay, so if you're near the Nissan plant, that's apparently what it is. Can you imagine, too? Let's go to the Nissan plant mall. Let's shop some Nissans, shall we? It does kind of look like a mall from overhead. But it also does absolutely look like a Nissan plant. Or some form of car plant. You see all these cars. All these cars all over the place. That'll do it. That's going to be a tornado. Alright, south of Smyrna, near the Nissan plant. South of Nolensville, north of College Grove. Interstate 840. There's probably going to be a tornado here, guys. This is going to be south of Nolensville, likely south of Smyrna. It'll be heading straight for the Nissan plant and areas that are south of the Nissan plant. Franklin is good. People are asking Burnside. Burnside, Kentucky is south of Somerset. You guys are currently seeing some strong... Actually, you're not seeing some strong severe weather. You guys are kind of good right now. Monticello and Steubenville, you need to stay in your safe space. Lowest innermost part of your building if you can. Corbin is fine. Storms are going to be heading to the north of you. If you are in Monticello or in Steubenville here in Kentucky, you need to get in your safe space. Pretty strong rotation here, from what I can tell. I do not see a debris signature. I'm kind of hoping I don't see a debris signature, period. I'm going to move my radar over here to Knoxville on the off chance, because I don't think there's going to be anything else that's going to happen in Pennsylvania. I had it over in Pittsburgh. Some people are asking about Antioch. Antioch. Oh, that's near the airport. I think you guys may be fine. I gotta double check. Still some pretty strong rotation heading towards Monticello and Steubenville. If you're in those areas, you need to definitely get into your lowest innermost part of your building. Yeah, you guys are fine. If you're in Antioch, you can go to sleep. If you're anywhere near the international airport, go to sleep. Does the Nissan plant need to shelter? Absolutely. The Nissan plant needs to shelter. As I said, I would not be surprised if they issued a tornado warning here really soon for this storm, because this is definitely starting to wrap up. You can start to see the velocities get very close to each other, and it's starting to show the beginner stages of it trying to stack. And there it is. So there definitely could be a spin up right here over US Highway 31A, south of Nolensville. And on the off chance if this thing does continue to try and produce a tornado, it will head off towards the north and east. It will head very close to the Nissan plant. Had some pretty hefty amounts of turbulence, too. I'll tell you what. When that thing was starting to build up a little more and a little more, that spectrum width started to really pop off. People are asking Hermitage, if I remember correctly. But I'll look it up anyways. Hermitage, yeah, you're like near Mount Juliet. You're good. You can go to sleep. I wouldn't worry about it. Mount Juliet's good. You guys can go to sleep. I'm waiting for this next run here of the velocities. Very rain-wrapped. This storm is very rain-wrapped. Is today going to verify? Are we talking about the high risk yesterday or the enhanced risk today? Rotation is significantly decreased within this, so it looked like we had a little bit of a brief spin up. And as I said, supported with turbulence over the rotation. I wonder if we had a camera here, would we be able to have seen that? Because I think there are traffic cameras in that area. Would we have been able to see that tornado starting to develop? But it did look like the storm is starting to gust out. And now it looks like this storm is... Now it looks like the storm is starting to gust out just a little bit more. Spring Hill getting another cell? Yes, but it's not going to be that strong. Be a lot of thunder and lightning. This cell near Waynesboro is still trying. It's been trying since it was over in Mississippi, and it still hasn't done anything. Please check Albany, Kentucky. Albany is good. The storm has passed you all. You are no longer in the immediate tornado threat. Nissan plant in Smyrna, Tennessee. Is there another one? Oh, yes. No, there's just this one. Yeah, if you're in the Nissan plant, get into a sturdy structure now. A lot of strong damaging winds that is near your area. There's a very good chance that there could potentially be, or there at least was an attempt at something tornadic, something weak, something like a weak tornado. But now you're going to be seeing some strong damaging winds if there isn't a tornado. Because what happens is when a tornado fails or it occludes or it just whatever, the rear flank downdraft, a lot of the stuff that is being held up in the upper portions of the atmosphere within the storm actually comes down and it starts to blow out and it starts to push out in front of it. And so a lot of these strong damaging winds could be in upwards of around 60 miles an hour, and you could potentially see some localized hail too. So I would watch out if you can. You know, this model is going to say that there's rotation on this cell north of Columbia, and even if there is, it's not even that crazy. So I appreciate everyone in the chat. You guys have been really helpful, and you guys have been really patient with me trying to get with everyone. I know I'm not able to answer everyone's chat here, but I definitely do try to do my best. But all you guys are crazy. I mean, we are definitely get up there. We're at 1,400 likes from the looks of it. We're getting up there in subscribers and we're growing our community. So as I said, thank you guys so much for really being able to help us out here. We are definitely trying to help each other out. I'll tell you what. Every single time you guys interact with the channel or you hit the like button and stuff like that, you guys help promote this live stream onto YouTube. And hopefully, most of the time, it actually does happen. People who could potentially be impacted by these storms actually do get this live stream. And they come here and watch it. So we try to make sure that these people could potentially be safe. That's the big thing here. We want safety with a lot of these people who are impacted by these storms. Monticello, you need to stay in your safe space. As I said, there's going to be some rotation near your area, lowest innermost part of your building if you can. I'm thinking the rotation is going to go just a little bit to the north of you. It might even go north of the airport. And it could get very, very close to Steubenville. If you're near Steubenville, you need to get in your safe space. Lowest innermost part of your building. And then how's coastal North Carolina looking Sunday and Monday severe-wise? I have no idea. A little too far out. Laverne is good. You guys are a little too far north. You can go to sleep if you wanted to. A lot of rain over there, though. Did this storm split? Is that what it did here? Is that what this thing did? Did it split into two? It not only split into two, but the tornadoes, or the tornadic storm, also lost a lot of structure. Now it's only just this small little storm that's out in front. And it is starting to kind of gust out. So we are going to start to see some strong damaging winds here. How bad will it be in Smyrna? You guys might be a little bit... I think you guys could get some localized, strong, damaging wind gusts. I don't think it'll be anything tornadic, though. But you can definitely see there's a brighter area of red right here that's heading towards down the middle of Smyrna. Middle of Smyrna. It's definitely going to be the most severe part of the storm. All right, Nolansville is fine. You guys are good. The Nissan plant could probably see around the outside edges, if not part of that strong damaging winds heading into Smyrna. Murfreesboro, the storm's moving north of you. I wouldn't worry about it. Really, chat, you know, we only have 2 tornado warnings left. And if these tornado warnings expire and nothing else comes up of these, we're going to try and get some sleep. Is Charleston, West Virginia in the clear now? Yes. You're good. Looks like it's headed for Burnside instead of Somerset. Yes, that would be accurate. Burnside is definitely in the path of these storms. Will it be heading towards Murfreesboro? It'll actually be heading just a little bit to the north of Murfreesboro. But you guys will eventually see some thunderstorms at some point. Man, chat. We'll be watching this very closely. That inflow in the Texas storm is nasty. Really? How's the cap looking? Looking like a typical overnight cap, honestly. I'll look at it here in a second, but I'm assuming it's not anything too crazy. What in the heck is this boundary gusting out type upscale? Why? Well, we are going to get a couple spin-ups here north of Morton Valley. Or at least it could be possible. A lot of wind, a lot of hail. You know, chat, I want to make a point here real quick. It's not a super crazy point. It's just a point. I started streaming when it was light outside. And I know for a fact that it was dark at some point. I can now see the sun. It's actually not exactly the sun. It's just light coming through my window. As a matter of fact, chat. As a matter of fact, I can start to see a little bit of light in the cameras here. Do I know what time it is? It is 7:03 a.m. Eastern. And now it's tomorrow. So now I can start saying today. KLVX. I'll check it out. Wait, KLVX. Isn't that Sterling? No, it's KLWX. I don't know. What is KLVX? Oh, that's Louisville. I might be able to use that. Maybe. I'll move Shreveport's radar over, because it's not like I'm using Shreveport. Yeah, it's just a little bit morning-ish. Is the one going into Burnside going away? Rotation-wise, it looks like there is still some rotation there, so I would just continue to watch out. Angela with the 5, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says, have I eaten and hydrated? I mean, technically I have. I've got my thermos here, and I've ate 2.5 pieces of pizza. And I've also had some goldfish. But I'm not sure goldfish is a part of main food groups, so... All right. Another 9 minutes until these tornado warnings expire. You know, the funny thing, Chad, is if I stay here all morning and I just keep getting tornado warnings and tornado warnings, I might either A, never get any sleep, or B, just might have to just sleep when a tornado warning exists. Surprisingly, chat, I actually don't feel tired. I think that's the funniest part about this whole thing. Storm has indeed passed the north of Murfreesboro, so Murfreesboro, once again, not really doing too much stuff. Cell near Spring Hill is rotating. I think they're going to severe warn this cell here. I promise that wasn't intentional. I appreciate that, Pete. I look tired. Yeah. I haven't been spacing out, though. I've been talking consistently. I don't think there's been any time into which I've actually, like, zoned out. It's kind of weird. Knowing me, when I start my stream later on this afternoon for whatever stuff we get here in Arkansas and Tennessee, am I going to have to start my stream at like 3? 2 or 3 Eastern, 1 or 2 Central, maybe. Oh, thank goodness. At least storms die at midnight my time. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that. Jeesh. Do I know what time I will be live later so you can be prepared? Well, I think I will probably have a lobby for our stream set up right after this one. And it will probably go live sometime around 2 or 3 Eastern. That's what I'm thinking. 1 and or 2 Central, sometime around that time frame. But if you want to come back, watch the live analysis and stuff like that, you can always subscribe and then hit the bell icon next to it. I know that is pretty cliche. All right, almost every single YouTuber says it. But truly, it is one of the only ways into which you can be able to stay as up to date with the channel as you possibly can be. So if you would like to, stick around. Feel free. It is for free, by the way. If you subscribe on YouTube, it is for free. All right, that one tornado warning has been canceled. So one of them is gone. 6 minutes until the other one could potentially be canceled. I'm going to hope that that is not a mode for severe weather for me. Because if I get thunderstorms, I might Might be some cruel, sick joke. Leave me be. Looks like the area of rotation that left Steubenville, it didn't exactly consolidate into anything significant, fortunately. But it did have some pretty strong rotation north of Albany as it approached Monticello. It looks like it's been getting weaker and weaker over the past few scans. So Burnside actually is starting to look really good. So I have another Discord group. I don't know why the one I was in wasn't receiving any messages. I'm still in my Discord server. It's not exactly mine anymore, though, because I've actually passed it on to another person who's going to be really committed to the server. I just honestly don't have enough time to fully commit to it. But him and I are working together to grow it more and more and to try and make sure that if people wanted to be able to, they could talk, learn about meteorology, conversate, all sorts of stuff like that. Mods, if you could do ! Discord in the chat, there is a link to the Discord server. You can join it. I'm in there every now and then. And there's a lot of people in there. A lot of people who love to talk about meteorology. And a lot of people who are willing to learn. And a lot of people who are willing to teach, too. So Joseph with the 20, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Says, get yourself a coffee, Nate. No. What I'm going to do is getting myself some sleep at some point here soon. Especially since we're going to be live in the afternoon again. It is officially today. It is officially today, chat. We have undergone the night shift. Although, pretty soon, unfortunately, we might have to worry about this storm. Walter Hill, Watertown, Statesville, Alexandria, and Brush Creek. Definitely going to want to watch out. Murfreesboro, the storm went north of you. You guys are good. I wouldn't worry too much about it. There's another storm that's behind this one, and it's ironically going to head over the same exact area. But yeah. Storm in Albany looks like it may have dropped tornado for a second. It could have possibly, but it would have been north of Albany. So hopefully the folks of Albany didn't get too many impacts if there was a tornado, but I didn't see anything that looks like. This is looking up 8,000 feet. Knoxville. Oh. You know what? You're absolutely right. That is some debris fanning. It had to have been on the approach to Albany. Maybe. No, that's... Never mind. That's not debris fanning. That's contamination. That I look at that. Quick no warnings, go to sleep. There's still one tornado warning, but it'll expire here in 1 minute and 26 seconds. Yeah, I think if anything, that cell near Albany probably produced a lot of hail. The funny thing here, chat, is that I wouldn't be surprised if they issued a new tornado warning for Wayne County. But at some point, this storm's got to die. It's probably going to be soon. Man, there's a lot of flash flood warnings. We're now up to 13. All over the place. Yeah, it is morning. Dude doesn't want to sleep. He wants tornadoes. I want to make sure that if I'm awake and I'm still functioning, I'm able to catch it all. All right, yeah, the tornado warning is gone. All right, chat. There are now only 5 severe thunderstorm warnings in the world of the United States. Actually, I lied. There's only 5 in the eastern half, and then there is X amount of severe thunderstorm warnings over here in Texas. But it is time for us to go to sleepy time. We have covered this event, chat. All right. From 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. So from 3 p.m. Central all the way to 6, almost 6:30 a.m. Central. Oof. That's a lot. I promise you guys, if you wanted to watch the previous stream that we did, it was almost 12 hours of coverage. We can go back here. I recommend, by the way, a lot of the people who want to so look, you can see a nighttime tornado warning coverage. This was earlier. We had a couple of tornado emergencies here. We had a pretty significant risk, a high risk 5 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for Arkansas, and it produced some significant tornadoes. So, yeah, a lot of stuff over here on this portion of coverage. If you want to watch back, watch some cool moments, put some timestamps, whatever. Wow, I'm stuttering. It's not anything different than what I've seen. Nissan plant good now? I'll double check that before I go to bed. You're going to get another storm here soon, but from the tornado threat, I do believe you guys are good. I think you guys are fine. This storm here needs to stop rotating, but yeah, you guys should be all right. Okay, chat. It is morning time. It is honestly time for me to go to sleep. Can I just say here, chat, by the way, you guys are absolutely insane with the amount of people we've had subscribe to the channel here, the amount of likes, the amount of viewers. I really do appreciate all that you guys have done, all of the people who have stayed up. Yes, I am still up, but not for long. I'm going to bed. So good morning to all of you all. And we will be live streaming later on this afternoon. It'll be the early afternoon, sometime around 1 or 1 to 3, somewhere within that time frame. I'll set the live stream lobby up so that way if you guys wanted to, you could be able to sit in there, talk about whatever happens. But we will be live covering the threat for some tornadoes that are possible across portions of Arkansas and Western Tennessee. We'll show you guys that risk here real quickly, and then we'll go to bed for sure. This is the risk here for today. Extended risk for severe weather from the mid-Atlantic all the way down into the southern plains, with a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here in Western Tennessee and southern Arkansas. This also comes with a 10% chance of seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius, and a hatch risk area with all these little, hash marks, I guess is what we can call them, little slash lines. That is where the potential for some significant tornadoes could exist, which extends from Memphis all the way down towards Texarkana. So definitely some stuff we're going to watch out for with that. And then the potential for some significant hail will exist across the majority of the day. So folks should definitely watch out over there too. Friday, the potential for some significant tornadoes still exists. You can see we have another 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for Arkansas. So, in all honesty, poor Arkansas. All right, yesterday. Okay, yesterday there was some significant tornadoes in Arkansas and some significant weather across the board. Today, there's going to be some significant tornadoes in Arkansas. And then tomorrow, there's going to be some significant tornadoes in Arkansas. So, definitely something we're going to want to continue to monitor. Looks like we're going to be live on Friday too. It looks like we are. And then, look at this here on Saturday, guys. It doesn't end. It's another risk. It's another severe storm event for Arkansas. And then also into portions of Louisiana and Mississippi, with the 2 out of 5 also going up into portions of Central Tennessee and portions of Kentucky as well. And then we also have severe weather here on Sunday. But this time it starts to move off towards the east, so at least Arkansas is not seeing anything. So we have that, and then we have nothing for Monday. Hopefully next week we get a break. It looks from the models that we will get a break for at least a good bit. Let's hope that stays, though. Let's hope that absolutely stays. That would be great. So, Salty Beat with the 2. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you have enjoyed this coverage, if you have enjoyed the live stream, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe if you're new. Turn on the channel notifications to stay up to date with all the latest information that we provide. We upload videos and we go live talking about all sorts of weather. We are a great area for you to not only be informed, but we also want to help people learn about meteorology, spread awareness about it, and hopefully promote some great interactions here in chat for everyone who may be involved. That should be pretty much it, honestly, chat. I'm going to go get some sleep. And I know some of you all may not be able to sleep, or you've slept for whatever, how long, and then you woke up and you started watching me. I haven't had sleep since yesterday morning. So, I'm going to go get it. I will talk to you all later on this afternoon. Hopefully I'll see you all there. But if I don't, I'll see you guys around. Unless if there's no weather in your area, then maybe not. Let's hope that nothing happens. But I will catch you guys next time. Hopefully I'll see you guys around. Peace out, everyone, and stay safe. See ya.